family. Clauses of the Integrity in Public Life Act deal with this. But this new PNM regime under Keith Rowley since 2016 has found a way to ensure that they dodge, that they deflect, and that they take decisions helping one another through the ridiculous position of conflicts of interest. Saddam Hussein called out some of the recusals of the PNM cabinet under Keith Christopher Rowley. I am going to read them for you, all of them, and understand that a recusal occurs when someone, an individual, has a conflict of interest, meaning someone close to them, some family member, some business partner, or someone that they may know or have a good relationship with is going to benefit financially from the decision taken by the cabinet. Now, under Kamla Prasad Bisesa, recusals were very, very rare, and in most circumstances, they did not involve any contracts or large sums of money and opportunities and so on. They were simply that a family member would have gotten some award or something. In this PNM government under Rowley, I have never seen anything like this. I'm going to read it for you before all you say, Anil, you're lying on coffee and doubles. The first man who started the boat running was Keith Christopher Rowley in 2016. He recused himself for conflict of interest. Then Darrell Smith. I'm just going to read out the names. Each one, just in your mind, know that when they recused themselves, someone close to them was going to benefit financially, and there was a conflict of interest in the decision being taken by the PNM Rowley cabinet. When I am done here, you will see that they can't care about you. How come so many of the decisions, so many of the meetings, so many of the cabinet notes that are typed up have to do with somebody sitting down next to them? Ask yourselves that, especially if you vote PNM. Keith Rowley, 2016. Darrell Smith, 2016. 2016, Faris Al-Rawi started. Colm Imbot, Randall Mitchell, Paula Gopi-Skoon, Darrell Smith, Rohan Sinanan, Randall Mitchell, Darrell Smith, 2017 now. Keith Rowley, Faris Al-Rawi, Imbot, Randall Mitchell, Camille Robinson Regis, Stuart Young, Keith Rowley. All of these are recusals from the cabinet due to conflict of interest. Major General Edmund Dillon, the man who had to deal with $1 million apartment in Manhattan, and Rowley say that it was a gift. Rohan Sinanan, Faris Al-Rawi, Darrell Smith, Faris Al-Rawi, all this is 2017. Darrell Smith, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Rohan Sinanan, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, all 2017. Faris Al-Rawi, Rohan Sinanan, Alison West. Think she had just reached 2017. She jumped in one time and went with a recusal. Rohan Sinanan, Faris Al-Rawi, Rohan Sinanan. Now we go into 2018. We only reached 2018, and all you vote for that. Stuart Young. All of these are recusals, conflict of interest, family members benefiting, business partners benefiting from decisions of the cabinet. These are people who swore on the Bible to go and do the job without fear or favor, malice or ill will, to show no one preferential treatment, to nobody should benefit substantially from them taking up the position as a government minister. 2018, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Terence Dialsing, Rohan Sinanan, Robert Lahunt, Faris Al-Rawi, Camille Robinson Regis, Randall Mitchell, Faris Al-Rawi, Faris Al-Rawi, oldest 2018. Rohan Sinanan, Alison West, Anthony Garcia, Randall Mitchell, Randall Mitchell, you ain't do no work. I read in here your name more than I ever read it in the last 6 years. You do more recusals than work, Randall Mitchell. Faris, still 2018. Faris Al-Rawi, Faris Al-Rawi, Faris Al-Rawi, Faris Al-Rawi, Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, 2018 continues. Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Keith Rowley, Keith Rowley, Faris Al-Rawi, still 2018. I didn't even know 2018. This is a cabinet. This is only one meeting per week. I didn't know 2018 had so much. So it had times. A year only have 52 weeks. It appears that it had time that in one cabinet meeting, some of them recused themselves twice. 2018 continues. Faris Al-Rawi, Anthony Garcia, Faris Al-Rawi, Senator Rohan Sinanan, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Alison West. 2018, the last recusal was maybe for Christmas and New Year's. Stuart Young. Then we go to 2019. Rohan Sinanan, Rohan Sinanan, Faris Al-Rawi, Faris Al-Rawi, Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Kazim Hussain, Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Kazim Hussain, Kazim Hussain, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Randall Mitchell, Stuart Young. 2019 continues. Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Franklin Khan, Rohan Sinanan, Rohan Sinanan, Franklin Khan, Randall Mitchell, Randall Mitchell, Randall Mitchell, Terence Dialsing. All of these are recusals with conflict of interest. Have you all ever heard of such madness? And this is going on while there's a constitutional crisis about no independent institutions. The Prime Minister has gone to speak on August 12th to the President. The President is silent, and all of this is going on in your country, and you have to go and pay property tax, pay more taxes, take away a subsidy, wean yourself off of the government. Clearly, the new society is not for them to wean themselves off of the government. Them jump inside the government. Them rolling around in the government belly. Them is the government in the treasury. Them swimming freestyle backstroke and breaststroke in the treasury while you can't get laptops. You can't get road. You have to wean yourself. Everything is the government, the government, the government. How dare you people? Watch them act. That is only 2019. Stuart Young, 2019 continues. Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Camille Robinson Regis, Nyan Gatsby Dolly, Nyan Gatsby Dolly, Rohan Sinanan, Stuart Young, Anthony Garcia, Stuart Young, Edmund Dillon, Stuart Young, 2020, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Major General Edmund Dillon, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, 2020. Honorable Terence Dialsing, Rohan Sinanan, Stuart Young, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Rohan Sinanan, Faris Al-Rawi, 2020 continues. Terence Dialsing. If you're wondering what I'm reading out here, This is not attendance to the meeting, This is not roll call, This is every time they had some cabinet note that benefited someone close to them and there was a conflict of interest of government cabinet ministers as Rowley, PNM. I not calling out no roll call, Me I play no teacher per se, This is your cabinet of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago that puts the policy of new society on you. It continues. 2020. Stuart Young, Colm Imbe, Stuart Young, Colm Imbe, Stuart Young, Clarence Rambarat, Stuart Young, Clarence Rambarat, Stuart Young, Alison West, Stuart Young, Franklin Khan, Terence Dialsing. 2020 continues. Stuart Young. All of this was detailed by Saddam Hussein last night on the United National Congress, Monday night virtual. Go and check it and you'll see some of the reasons. All of these are recusals that a decision was taken by the government to benefit family members, friends and close business associates of these ministers. This means every single meeting that a PNM cabinet have, one of them is to benefit, if not the same one benefiting twice and thrice. 2020 continues. Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Dr. Keith Rowley, yes man, Prime Minister, you go man. The Stuart Young, everybody else is thief, not all you. Everybody else have conflict, not all you. The UNC did all kind of thing, not all you. All you have more recusal than good road. All you have more recusal than medicine in the hospital. You have more recusal than laptop for children. You have more recusal than sports funding. You have more recusal than budget debate preparation and delivery by your ministers. 2020 continues. Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Kazim Hussein, Stuart Young, and some of them, like that one with Al-Rawi and Hussein, that is the same matter. Like them is friends. So them have friend and business friend and family. Senator the Honorable Rohan Sinanan, 2020 continued. Keith Rowley, Faris Al-Rawi, Colm Imber, Kazim Hussein, Randall Mitchell. Wow. The Honorable Stuart Young, Alison West, Stuart Young. Wow. I keep going. I nearly finished. 2 more pages to go. Terence Dialsing, Stuart Young. 2020 continues. Recusals of the Rowley PNM cabinet. Faris Al-Rawi. All you now know is Cosa Nostra. We keep everybody secret. That is what Manning talk about Rowley and Rowley admit. The Honorable Faris Al-Rawi, Terence Dialsing, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Terence Dialsing, 2020, Colm Imber, Terence Dialsing, Faris Al-Rawi, De Amory Brown, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, and 2021, COVID, no COVID. Brazil, Delta variant, it don't matter. Recusal with mask, recusal with vaccine, recusal with 1 vax, 2 vax, 3 vax. Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young. All you keep voting for them. And the Parliament Weeks and Rowley, all you talk. Parliament Weeks, you taught ethics. Rowley, you are keeping the president informed while you're recusing. Who else you keeping informed? Y'all people, I have nothing else to say except good morning, neighbor. I say good morning. Coffee and doubles. My goodness, I have to drink some water after all them recusals.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? social space in the race, trying to keep up the pace, by space, ram, everybody, yeah, jamming for a better life, a better way of living. In the meantime, simple things we forgetting, like how to say good morning, morning, neighbor, good 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 morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, morning. Have a little remedy, a guaranteed philosophy to make this a better place. Healing for the human race, a plain and simple remedy, a guaranteed philosophy to make this a better place. I put a smile on people's face. Take time when you start your day, when you're heading on your way, with full respect in order, full respect in order. Take some time when you start your day, when you're heading on your way, with full respect in order. Just say to one another, morning, neighbor, good 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 morning, morning, neighbor, morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, true balance in humanity, that starts right in the community, with love between you and me. Say morning to all my family. True balance in humanity, that starts right in the community, with love between you and me. Good morning to all my family. Morning to all the ones I meet along the street. I just love to love and greet. Greeting my people with that smile. Good morning, neighbor, you're feeling fine. Hope all is well today. Simple things we forget to say. Has the love truly gone away? No way today, not today. Morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, good morning, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning, neighbor, good morning,
Anil just now I get frightened, boy.
What up, Cocky? You, a serious man like you don't ever get frightened.
Boy, I see like something sticking in the radio station. I hear him repeating, what's going on? What was going on there?
Or you thought the radio stick?
Yeah.
You was just saying the same thing,
Yeah,
kind of
repeating,
fluid.
yeah.
Well, let me explain to you, Cocky, because you know you're a man on the ground. You think you don't really have to study them big thing up in the cabinet and so on. Let me explain to you, Cocky. When you go into government, and let me use an example of myself, right, so that people will really understand.
Yes.
When you go into government, you have to think carefully, all right?
Yeah.
Number one, you have to know, like in my case, that half the population would immediately hate you, right? Because if you, whatever side you go on.
Yes.
And when you're on TV and you're doing like I was doing Spork, everybody watching Spork, the sport talk show, everybody like the Spork man, good information, good entertainment and so on. Mm-hmm. But once you jump on a side, you know that politics is very passionate and emotional because that's the way they try to make it. Because the more emotion you put into something, the less your brain does operate. Right? So politicians, historically, especially PNM politicians and Dr. Williams coming forward, they created an emotive link and emotion to politics so that people would not read policies, they would not study, their cognitive function would shut down and their heart will go. So it's like a football game. You see people enjoying themselves, marching, cussing, fighting, emotion, right? And so sense does not prevail. But when you go into politics, you must make a decision. I was a swimming coach. And my family club was formed in 1985 because swimming was basically a white people's sport, right? It was a bourgeois sport, and those people who controlled it wanted to keep it that way. And my father did not. He wanted to open up. Now that you see swimming is everybody, you have swimming when you go to a primary school meet and so on, you're seeing black, Indian, Chinese, white, mix up, douglAr, Syrian, everybody swimming, right? Yeah. That, my father, Anil Roberts, was responsible for that back in the early 80s by creating the primary school swim meet and building up the secondary schools meet to include government schools and so on, and making access to coaching for children in black areas, in areas that were not given the opportunity to go by the country club and swim, or to go in Marlin's pool and swim and so on. So we have been involved in that. So Piranha Aquatics was formed. But the problem with us is that we never had a pool, a home base. So all the success that I got, it was from coaching all around like a maverick. So we used to go and swim in Jumbo Gym. Jumbo Gym in Curep is the only pool that a swimmer could swim straight and bounce the wall. Because whoever was the mason, the wall crooked, right? When they built up the right-hand wall, it bent. The pool was never blue. It always green. Yeah. Half the time I used to have to be telling the children, well, no, man, the pool is just green, but it's purely clean, you know. Don't worry about that. Because we have to do we work. We have World Championships, we have Pan Am Games, we have CAC Games. We can't afford to miss training. So I used to put them in the training and tell them go and scrub down and wash out their ears and put air drops. All this bacchanal to get children to do good. So since 1989, Koki, we trying to build a pool. We trying to get a pool. We get land from the corporation, leased us, down in Powder Magazine. Now, I can't talk too much there because it's still in court. We're still fighting after 40 years to build this pool. Yeah. Now, that was some prime land and some big PNM. Keith Rowley himself and John Rahal, because they are tight friends. John Rahal said, over my dead body, all you're building any pool there on that prime land. You understand? So I say, well, I know, maybe you go dead before me. The war was very bitter because we fighting to build a pool for children to give them opportunities. Also, the more children I get to throw my eyes on, the more potential we had to produce Olympic champions, Olympic winners, and get people out. My mother took people from down in Carnage like Terry and Evelyn and so on, yeah. They were hard-working family with many children. You know, and she took them and put them in her house and feed them and so on, and they became national champions, winning 13 Carifta gold medals in one, right? That's how we were moving forward. So we were fighting. We went to First Citizens Bank and we did business plan to borrow money to build the pool, to create the club, the home base for the children so we could do learn to swim, adult swim, exercise, talent identification. To cut a long story short, the power of Rahal and PNM and Rowley, they came up and they even had some residents in Powder Magazine. Imagine they had a man called Mr. Kokorit. And he hate me because he's a supporter of Rahal, and Rahal tell him that we're going to build a pool there and don't let them build a pool. And he fight tooth and nail, not even understanding that when the pool built, all those children living in Powder Magazine would have had opportunities. If they didn't have talent, one, all of them would have learned to swim, so nobody would have been at risk of drowning when they go to a line by the beach or anything. Two, many of them would have gone on to get scholarships and so on if they had talent. And three, others would have gotten opportunities to train as lifeguard, to do flight attendant training, to do other types of jobs that would have benefited them, right? But they may understand, all them know is Rahal and Rowley's PNM fight. So they always, we cut ribbon to start construction about 4 times in 30 years. Yeah. So in 2009, 2010, when I am thinking about going up for politics, right, I say, but listen, more than likely if I win on we form government, whoever the prime minister was, because they didn't have no coalition yet, and I at that time was a Congress of the People, right? That they would most likely want to put me in sport because without being arrogant or anything, there nobody in this country know 1% about all different sports than me because that's my life. I study it, I live it, I breathe it. I know different sports that people never hear about. I know a little bit about. You understand? So I had to sit down with my family and I say, but listen, if I become a minister of sport, do you all know that that means that the pool cannot build? They say, yes, we understand that because that would be a conflict of interest. You cannot go in the government and then build your own family pool, right? Even though it's not for any big benefit to the family other than a dream being fulfilled. It's not a money maker like building condominiums and going up in the sky. You understand? You ain't going to become a multi-millionaire. But coaches and teachers, they have an intrinsic value. You understand? The value of taking a child from nothing and making them a champion. You know, that you can't put money on that benefit. That's why teachers are like a vocation. So, I mean, sometimes we abuse them because we know they love their students and so on. So we pay teachers a little bit and treat them badly, which is horrendous. But, so we had to make a decision.
Right.
And the decision was that once we win and you are in government, Anil, we have to put the dream of the pool on hold. Because you cannot go and utilize your position, your influence, or your position of power in a government to get the pool and your dream built. Right. Doesn't that sound obvious, Corky?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, everybody must be saying, but Anil, well, you stupid. Because what I was reading out there, Mr. Corky,
Yes.
was cabinet ministers of the PNM, Keith Christopher Rowley and his cohort of ministers, recusing themselves from the cabinet in order because cabinet notes and decisions that were being taken were benefiting themselves, their family, or close business partners and friends.
Okay.
So every one of those things that you heard me read out as if it was the radio stuck and you get worried, you thought the thing was, I don't know how live radio does stick, but you get frightened because you was only in it going on and on and on.
I say we still in the record days.
Yes, you thought it's a LP playing. Well, each and every one of those things that I called out, Mr. Corky,
Yes.
is a minister of the PNM government recusing themselves from the cabinet meeting, and a cabinet meeting only occurs once per week. Yeah? So all them thing I read out that took, minus in between when I was talking, let me say it took 11 minutes for me to read it out. That each one represented a benefit to a member, a family member, or a minister themselves. Faris Al-Rawi inside of that list, Corky, sat in the cabinet as the Attorney General and recused himself and went and had coffee, and his friend and them, including Rowley, approved the rental of his own building on Alexander Tree, a building that he owns, rented to the government that he advises legally. And then also there was a second note. You see, sometimes it looked like in one meeting the same minister recused themselves 2 and 3 times. There was another note that came for Faris Al-Rawi, and then the government of which he is a part and a member of and the advisor legally to the entire government then agreed to give him 38 million to outfit his building for his profit, his rental, and his riches, his wealth creation for the rest of his life. But I so stupid. I say, but that is totally improper, unethical, immoral, and wrong. So I tell my family, listen, if I go in politics and I get into a power position, then the government, we would not be able to access anything from the government in order to move the dream of creating a pool and slides and fun and learn to swim for all the children in the Western Peninsula. Wow. But not under this PNM. Did you, now you understand, you understand what I was reading out there? Saddam Hussein brought it out last night and I was in shock from last night till this morning, coffee and doubles.
My gosh.
All of that was recusals.
Okay.
Recusals represent conflicts of interest. Now understand this. In between there may be some normal conflicts which are not really beneficial because we're in a small island.
Yes.
So let we take out 30% probably. Let me be overly fair as normal.
Yeah.
That don't have anything to do with money and so on. It might just be, well, look, my auntie win something from the Ministry of Culture. She sing Kaiso. And you understand? That is my auntie. So, but she win the thing on she own, right? And the government have to give her something. So I come out, right? There will be some of that there. Those are running the par for the course. I not talking about those. I talking about the recusals for your brother company to get $3.81 billion in work. I talking about the recusals for your wife company to get over 300 million in work. I talking about the recusals of big money contracts, big business opportunities. At least 70% of those that I call out involve money contracts, money notes that also had to go to F&GP and lead to some financial benefit to a member of the family, friends, or close associates of PNM ministers. Section 24 to 26 of the Integrity in Public Life Act states categorically that at no point are you to use your position to benefit any individual, group, or company. But the PNM has come and said and created a new phenomena that if you step out of the room, so hear the stupidity of this now. So all are we on a team.
Yeah.
We fight together, we line together, we plan together, we strategize together. We closer than a church. We like a cult and we on the same red Balize team. And a cabinet note comes in. And it say, Faris Al-Rawi, who sits down right across there at the right side of the Prime Minister. And Faris Al-Rawi says, my colleagues, this cabinet note involves the rental of my building, cabinet note 103462. I will have to recuse myself from this decision. I can take no part in this discussion. So please excuse me. Yeah. He steps out of the meeting, closes the big wooden door, and has a coffee outside in the hallway. While his colleagues and his cult members and his team members and his friends and his warriors who he's just fought battle for with the PNM, and they meet and the constituency groups and they have the same constitution and they pay their membership and they wear the same uniform, they sit down there and say, well, this is Faris building. How much is it to us? 23. Yes, that ministry would like to rent that building. Approve. And then they say, Faris, come back in, boy. And he come back in the room and goes on to the next cabinet note. And they say that is moral, ethical, legal, transparent, and accountable. And each one of those things you heard me call out there is one of that.
Oh my gosh.
And there are only 52 weeks in a year, Corky. Corky, I didn't count. But by just me reading out there were some years that they had more than 120 recusals, which meant that each cabinet meeting had 2.3 recusals per meeting. They had some years there that I call out that in the same meeting, big ministers, Stuart Young, Al-Rawi, Rohan Sinanan, Terence Dial Singh, would have had to recuse themselves twice in one cabinet meeting.
It's just frightening stuff.
So the record didn't stick, Corky. Anil didn't stick. I wasn't going through fits. I was reading what Saddam Hussein got from a freedom of information request under the law. That is your government working for you. You must, you in the new society of Keith Christopher Rowley, you must wean yourself off of the government. Corky, look for a tune, you know. Look for a tune to sum up that. Mr. Politician, man. All you, them, if you all don't understand what I read out there, if as a member of the PNM, you cannot even get a grant, you could only get one hamper. They have some men get 40 recusal, but you could only get one hamper with one bacon and one pumpkin. And if you go and request a second hamper, they say you're greedy and you're a thief and you're fraudulent. But them sit down in a cabinet, and I read in my name like it's I don't know what to tell all you. One after the next, recusal after recusal. And each recusal representing a conflict of interest. One minister renting his own building, outfitting his own building for profits for the rest of his life. And you're saying other people corrupt? Another minister, he father, he brother, oh, millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of decisions before the cabinet start. Stuart Young brother company that he's the CEO of on the avenue where we just drink rum by Frankie's had zero work from the government corky. Zero. And within 4 years of Stuart Young swearing on the Bible, just by pure fluke, coincidence, and dumb luck, they moved from zero government work to 3.81 billion. And that's the last figure we had as of March 2020. Me ain't know what went on in the last year and a half. It might well be over $4 billion. Line up a tune for me, let me rest my throat, you know.
Yes, I have something here.
What? Let me hear it. All here. Why we play tune? Because while we talk, the artist, the brilliance, the lyrics, the music puts the message out. This recusal thing could never be right. Even if you love your PNM, that could never be right. You didn't vote them in to go and let them enrich themselves and their family. You vote them in to enrich your life. And they turn around and tell you after you vote for them, wean yourself off of them while them get fat on you. Bless.
Guiltiness, rest on their conscience. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And they live a life of false pretense every day, each and every day. These are the big fish who always try to eat down the small fish. Just a small fish. I tell you again, they would do anything to materialize their every wish. Oh yeah. But wait, water the down pressure. They eat the bread of sorrow. Water the down pressure. They eat the bread of sad tomorrow. Water the down pressure. They eat the bread of sorrow. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Guiltiness, rest on their conscience. Oh yeah, oh yeah. These are the big fish
every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Hi, this is Michael Ruplal, attorney at law. I'm inviting you to join me every Thursday at 5 p.m. on MCTV for the Social Contract. It's a new show where we will be discussing bills that are being debated in Parliament, topical legal issues and recent decisions of our courts, and where we'll be giving general legal advice on issues that affect you, the public. I encourage all of you to continue looking at MCTV, bringing you back to where you belong.
Puja materials at perfect prices are at Prem Singh's Puja Bhavan, and for Navratri, we're fully stocked. Need mithai? We make them nice and tasty by order every day. Get fresh dahi, paper suhari leaves, jandi bamboo, plus wooden baby boxes and pirhas. For your devotion, use our ready-made Devi tar. It's rich in color and made from premium ingredients. Don't miss our assortment of Ayurveda health and cosmetic products, Tulsi teas from Organic India, and a range of Girnar and GB teas. Fasting? Our QRF branch has all the vegetarian products, Indian groceries, curries, and spices you'll need. While there, have a look at our variety of healing crystal jewelry. Prem Singh's Puja Bhavan, 11 St. Ives Street, Chagonas, opposite the Charlieville taxi stand, and at the corner of Watt Street, QRF. Call 663-6084. Visit us today. It's a family tradition, serving the nation and Dharma.
It's Diwali Ka Taal. Join us on U97.5 FM and MCTV as we celebrate the rhythms of Diwali. Tune in to U97.5 FM for the Diwali Bhajan.
माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए, काम जब भी कोई करिए.
Listening is the name of the game in our Pick a Deer promotion. 97 deers to choose from. Some of them can win you amazing prizes and gifts from our sponsors. Look out for delicious Diwali recipes on MCTV and U975 and show your colors in our first annual Rangoli competition. Get creative and share your pics to our Facebook or Instagram pages and get the most likes to win fantastic prizes. It's Diwali Ka Taal, the rhythms of Diwali.
And welcome back inside. So, y'all have seen it. Y'all have heard it. Corky was shocked by it. The recusals of the PNM. The recusals of the PNM cabinet. The PNM ministers. The PNM big boys. And as you can see, it's mainly a certain type. There are many who get one in between. Those are not the ones really when you go through and you check, you know. Those may be the run of the mill. So if I read out that for 11 minutes, run of the mill should have been 3 minutes. Right? That, you know, when you're doing the thing properly, if you know your sister, brother, cousin, so whatever is on a board or going up for this or getting something or getting a scholarship, or, you know, you recuse yourself, those are par for the course.
Yes.
I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the other 70% of them that involved actual financial benefit in the millions and billions of dollars to the friends, the family, the finances, and to the ministers themselves. And to the very ministers themselves. That one has never been seen in the history of the cabinet before, Rowley. That ministers accepting contracts for rentals, outfitting, and the like, Never before seen all the corruption you say, Dr. Williams, O'Halloran, Privat, Lock Joint, Mount Hope, Financial Complex, Carani Racing Complex, Texaco, all of that corruption in that 30 years of Eric Williams and the PNM. It didn't have no cabinet note where Eric Williams' cabinet rent out their own building or give the own minister a contract or the own minister get an outfit. Even Eric Williams, O'Halloran, Privat, and the likes did not do that. Rowley create a new level, a whole new level. 218-7762. We will take some calls. 218-7762. And callers yesterday, y'all were absolutely brilliant. So we look forward to some excellent contributions again.
And then yesterday, I drive in and I went down by a stick. My friend said, "What happened, Cocky?" I said, "But a stick by a reverse." I had to reverse out that pothole. You know.
Yeah. You had to reverse out that pothole, you say the Cocky?
Yes.
No, Cocky. Cocky say you had to reverse out that pothole. Yes? Yeah. Good morning.
We lost that one.
Oh, Lord, right. I'll take too long. 218-7762. 218-7762. Call in. I drank some water. I don't know what to say again. All of that was recusals. Freedom of information, all of that information was suppressed. They had to go to court to get that information out. Hello.
Morning to you.
Good morning.
Would like to find out how is letting a minority government control only like that.
Tell me.
It. Could you tell me why?
Well, you tell me. I think it's because the Constitution. What you want us to do? Tell me. I will listen. I'm listening, my brother.
In the Commonwealth belt, government don't last so long, and the way they're going on, they have the majority.
I want to
find out from you.
Well, my brother, that is a very good question. In those jurisdictions, yeah, well, stay there. Let me see. In those jurisdictions that you're talking about, number one, the politicians are held to a higher standard to uphold the tenets of Westminster. And the media is a real media who will not let go. They're like a shark biting on some meat. They keep going and they keep going. Our media allows things. Look at this situation. Keith Rowley, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar stated categorically 17 or 18 days ago that it was Keith Rowley who was there on August 12th. Rowley, one media person eventually asked Rowley 2 or 3 days ago, and he admitted and confessed that it was him, and then created this nonsense about he is keeping the president informed. And since then, the media is just leaving him and proceeding on and going to look at him tour projects down in San Fernando when people are hungry. So one, I would say that our media is not as tenacious as those other countries. Two, our politicians, especially under this Rowley, do not have the wherewithal, the strength, and the character to resign when they are caught or when it's improper. They do not have the patriotic zeal to uplift and uphold a democracy. They put themselves above. Now, if you are telling me that the opposition needs to do more, I try my best. Tell me what to do. I listen, I have my pen and paper. What you want me to do, because under the Constitution, we can research, we can use freedom of information like what Saddam Hussein did there, and he got it out. We could talk, we could analyze, we could debate, we could call press conferences. What else would you like us to do?
Yes, I like the researching and put the pressure on with researching.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll continue to do that and do it even more.
And you're doing a good job, man. God
bless. Thank you. We have to do it more. I mean, we can't really go into the other realms of different things that occurred in different countries, because we are a political party who believes in the Constitution and the rule of law. However, the population needs to join and unite in one voice that this is wrong. Yeah. Even PNM people, members of the People's National Movement, who have never seen this sort of thing, this sort of selfish graft, this corruption, this recusals, this selfishness, while people are suffering in the worst economic times in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, even PNM people are supposed to unite to rid this country of this human blight that Rowley has put in the cabinet, himself and his ministers. That is what has to happen. The media must do their job also. Why has Paula May Weeks not answered? Anywhere she go, they're supposed to put a mic in her face and ask her who came to see her. Good morning. I take too long. 218-7762. 218-7762. Call me now. What did you think? Corky thought the radio stick, yes? Good morning. I know what's going on with the phone lines. Keep trying, keep trying. We may be having a little technical difficulty. Let me see. Try again. 218-7762. 218-7762. Let's try. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Fahina, doubles, and coffee.
Yes, my brother. Talk to me. What is going on? You see something going on with the phone? Something? You know, Cocky. You try and check that, boy. Just
all right,
so
let's
we
take this one.
Let's good. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. We need to get another line. The line's heating up. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Anil. How are you doing?
Hi there, fighting up.
What I'm calling for is Mr. Basan Barrett.
Yes.
I believe him, Wakila Pandey, need to come and team up with the UNC to win back this election because they're fighting among their own people.
Yes, well, you'll have to talk to Vasan because he's not making sense. Vasan.
Why I want to say on air, I can't sit down there. If I see him in person,
Yeah, don't say don't say it on there. All right, okay. I go talk to Vasan because he's not making sense. I mean, not that he has much political weight left anyway because he has utilized all of his political capital. He's sounding very silly. He seems to be supporting the oppressive corruption of the PNM. All those names I call out there, Vasan, and talk about recusal. He only want to talk about Kamala. Good morning.
A blessed day to Mr. Anil and to Koki.
Good morning.
You see, so when you make your country poor, what is the easiest thing to do, people? Prostitute them for a green galley. Upon our soul, who have upon our soul, to quote upon our soul. This is what we, the taxpayers, vote for, and we are not standing up for our rights. You see, when who was the first man bring out gang in this country, Mr.
I'm not sure about who was
All
the
right.
first
The
man
first
bring
Prime
out that.
Minister, when he was there, he bring out the Marabonta gang.
But I think
And this is why we
they
have
had
gang up
gang.
to today.
Yes, but they had gang before that. They had gang way before that. Now, if you're saying
No, well,
that,
we're talking about the main people, like what you're talking upstairs, they were using the cells. Using the cells. But they're robbing the taxpayers' money of this country. You see, when good people see evil and does nothing of it, they become an accomplice to it. And I think, Miss Paula, please, miss, please, don't leave this country in darkness. Resign like the four of them and show the country you all are there to do the people work, not to rob the taxpayers of this country. Have a blessed and wonderful, Mr. Anil.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. God bless. Paula May Weeks, you talked about ethics. You taught ethics at Hugh Wooding. I'm not sure. I'm a bit confused, President Paula May Weeks.
We don't have to get confused with that lady, but this is Hina inside again.
Yes, sorry we lost you there, my brother, but I am confused.
It's okay. We have these ups and downs.
Yes.
But I wanted to let the country of Trinidad and Tobago know. If they look up on Wikipedia, they will see doubles is one of the preferred breakfasts in Trinidad and Tobago. That is in Wikipedia, and I didn't want to You know, if I go and say breakfasts, is a minister of education who I go pong. I don't want to do that. But let me start with what has happened in the debate. And as the leader and the former prime minister said, they could run but they can't hide. The Valley syndromes or the Dukaran syndrome, they could duck and run. But we will catch them. When they saying, when mouth open, Tory jump out, listen to this. There is a statement that was highlighted in the newspaper. One of them poops in papers, I'm not too sure, where a fella whose name is Akala, Abrong, said he defended the vaccine vagrant for saving this country from what? The predators. Our goodly friend,
the predators,
Adam, said 239 of them had to recuse. What were they concerned about? Not filling their friends and family pockets. They wasn't concerned about saving life. A life is priceless. 1,500 lives lost. A life is, and you talking about saving country from predators. You are saving the country from the money that you could put in your pocket. The vaccine vagrant didn't want to save life. What was his action? What his action tell us? He is begging for no vaccine to save no life. That's not a callous statement. You have to nail them. So every time they say the opposition caused the debate to collapse, that is not true. The Pelton big stone for people to look out there. They were afraid of the information that the Honorable Monilal, the Honorable Saddam, all these people waiting to rebut the dotishness. Like, I want Brown to tell us how much money they save us from these predators and equate that, how much lives that could have saved.
Well, you really say predators?
I'm begged to save a life. I'm going on.
Wait.
Last night when I read that newspaper with that dotish statement.
The
He should not be
predators.
brown. He should be black now. I go on.
Oh, Lord. Hey, I don't know. I couldn't believe what I read out there. Saddam Hussein talked about it yesterday on the UNC virtual. And I heard about it. I know about it. But to just look at the entire document, 29 pages, 29 pages of recusals, which means 29 pages of conflict. Good morning.
Good morning, Anil.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I good. Well, I in shock from what Saddam Hussein bust last night and forced me to read out this morning. I know PNM bad, but like I shocked myself this morning and all.
Well, the boys are back in town. Nothing new with them. At least now the population knows. And this is the reason why our opposition is stronger than ever, because we are able to hold the government to account, and that is exactly and precisely how you do it. And I want to commend the Member of Parliament for San Juan Barrett area. But Anil, you remembered when you were elected a Member of Parliament, you remembered that you sworn oath, right?
Yes.
Where you have to uphold the law and the Constitution. And we all know that an oath is a promise. And we all know a promise is a declaration of assurance, and you give people that.
Correct.
And I think what the People's National Movement has shown us is that they are willing broad-facedly to lie in front of us like that. And it is a dereliction of duty.
Pause there.
And it is.
Pause there. You're going to call me back after the news because I want to hear it. So we are joining MCTV U97.5 FM for the 7 o'clock news.
News on MCTV.
This is the 7 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. Good morning once again. Members of Parliament did not attend budget debates at the Red House on Monday. That's according to opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. Speaking during the UNC's virtual report on Monday night, the opposition leader pointed out the Digitization Ministry does not have a website as yet.
13 PNM MPs failed and or refused and or neglected to stand up and contribute in the budget debate and to account. And on top of those, there are key senators or ministers as well who did not speak. 6 of them. Hassan Bakas, Minister of Digitization. And by the way, that Ministry of Digitization established last year, they still do not have a website of their own, and they want to digitize the country. How can you do that? You do not even have a website of your own, man.
Prasad-Bissessar went on to suggest there was a collapse in budget debates, so Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would not have to answer for his alleged involvement in the collapse of the Police Service Commission and the appointment of a new police commissioner. The UNC leader has claimed in the past that the Prime Minister was involved in private meetings concerning the merit list sent to the President.
The question must be asked, was the move to collapse the budget debate designed to allow the Prime Minister to escape having to answer pertinent questions about his involvement in the Police Service Commission crisis? I asked it in the Parliament. I openly asked the Prime Minister, was it you who went to the President's house to interfere in that whole process with respect to the appointment of a Commissioner of Police and or a Deputy Commissioner of Police? The Prime Minister's replied, Pigot's corner, not in the Parliament. He says, I do my duty. That was his response when asked whether he met Her Excellency about the merit list for the police service.
A High Court judge will deliver his verdict in the trial of an interagency task force officer who has been charged with a 2007 murder of a St. Bob's Laventil man on October the 19th. Anthony Sylvester is alleged to have shot Sheldon Devines on November the 9th, 2007. It is alleged that on the day in question, Devines and some others were sitting in a shed playing cards. Sylvester and other officers on patrol in the area noticed another man wearing camouflage pants. The officer reported things got violent when the person refused to remove the pants. Sylvester allegedly started shooting at the man with the pants, but shot Devines instead. In his defense, Sylvester insisted he shot at Devines, fearing for his safety because the man had a firearm pointing in his direction. 2 of his witnesses, police officers who were on the scene on the day, also testified that Devines had a gun, while several prosecution witnesses testified that he did not. A crime scene expert who did a fingerprint analysis on the gun Devines was alleged to point at Sylvester said none was found. This is Sylvester's second trial. His first in 2019 ended with a hung jury unable to determine his innocence or guilt. He has opted for a judge-only trial, and Sinclair Douglas is mandated by law to give his verdict in writing 14 days after the close of the trial. The number of pregnant women testing positive for the COVID-19 virus continues to increase. So far, for October 21st, one has contracted the virus. The latest update was given by the Director of Women's Health, Dr. Adesh Surju Singh, at the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 press conference yesterday.
The total number of cases now stands at 744 pregnant women who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic. In September, we saw the largest number of cases reported at 161. To date for October, we have 21 cases. We are therefore still seeing a higher number of cases being reported in pregnancy in these last few months.
In some international news now, head of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, Göran Hansson, says the institution that awards a Nobel Prize will not introduce gender quotas. In this clip from AFP News, Hansson said they want people to win because they made the most important discovery.
It is sad that there are so few women Nobel laureates. And it reflects on the unfair conditions in society, particularly in years past, but still still existing, and there is so much more to do. We worry that if somebody proposed to us, 1 year we would give the prize only to women, then it would be, we fear, considered that those laureates got the prize because they are women and not because they are the best. Now there's no doubt that scientists like Emmanuel Charpentier or Esther Duflo got the prize because they made the most important contributions that were awarded.
Since its inception in 1901, 59 Nobel Prizes have gone to women. Journalist Maria Ressa was the only woman honored this year. Marie Curie was the first woman to get the prize and remains the only woman to get it twice, in 1903 and 1911 for physics and chemistry, respectively. And that brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. A brighter morning continues while another newscast comes up at 8 a.m.
News on MCTV.
And that's news on U97.5 FM, MCTV, WBHM, the voice of rock, and Fun Radio. Sponsored by Newsday.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life, because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Need a car? Spend less and hire the very best. Mitch Car Rentals, the best cars at the most affordable rates. Also available, quality affordable lawn care. Full service lawn care company. You grow it, we'll mow it. Reliable service with quality results at Mitch Car Rentals. Located at 178 Waterloo Road, Karapichaima. Call us today at 788-8420. Mitch Car Rentals.
Mitch Car Rentals. Pay less and hire the best. The best cars at affordable rates. Also available quality affordable lawn care. Full service lawn care company. You grow it, we'll mow it. Reliable service with quality results. So if you need a car, check out Mitch Car Rentals today. They are located at 178 Waterloo Road, Karapichaima. You can give them a call also on 788-8420.
And this traffic update brought to you the kind compliments of Mitch Car Rentals. Today on the Uriah Butler Highway heading north, we are still at this hour, which is 7:09 a.m., flowing smoothly and safely on very dry roads, so you can proceed comfortably up towards passing Chaguanas, flowing through Charlieville, all the way to the Caroni Savannah turnoff is flowing at a speed of about 60 to 70 kilometers. You can even see one or two vehicles going what looks like close to the speed limit of 100k. But you will slow down as you reach the intersection of the Uriah Butler and the Churchill Roosevelt at the vicinity of Grand Bazaar and Dr. Raj's shop on the right-hand side. You know Dr. Raj, a very good show, Sexplosion. Oh. Corky is a fan of that show. So, now Dr. Raj, real good. So there's no real traffic to talk about heading north. But when you start on Waze, as we can see it, when you start heading into town, when you start going west, you slow down to 22 kilometers. And then on the Beetham, you come to 10 or 11 kilometers, which is not as bad as it can be. That traffic update brought to you with the kind compliments of Mitch Car Rentals. And we're back inside with your calls, Good morning.
Lost that one. All right.
218-7762. I'm reading out some of these recusals that Saddam Hussein, Member of Parliament for Barataria Sanwan, brought to the public's attention last night on the UNC virtual. And here we have in 2017, hot off the press, Faris Al-Rawi had to recuse himself from the proposed lease or rental of the building located at numbers 19, 29, and 29A Estate Road, Barataria. Then he had to recuse himself from the lease or rental of office space in a building, again for the Ministry of Finance. Proposed lease or rent of office space in a building known as Chepstow House, located at number 56 Frederick Street, Port of Spain. Then he had to recuse himself from a proposed lease or rental for office space in a building located at number 5 Gray Street, St. Clair, Port of Spain, to accommodate the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services and Ministry of National Security. Many rentals from Faris Ala Rental, and one of these is his own building at 3 Alexandra. And one of the recusals is to approve 38 million to outfit. Imagine, it's like you in the government and they building your house.
Yeah.
And there's no house, there's a big mansion, right? Mm-hmm. And then they also, after they build it for you, they rent it out for you too. That is exactly what happened with Faris Al-Rawi a la rental, and they talking about corruption and other people corrupt and all kind of thing. And then he makes this ridiculous statement. Faris Al-Rawi in justifying, because his family, Kamla Prasad Bisesa Basit, that in 1 year, Faris Al-Rawi and his family could get up to 100 million in rent per year from the government, right? And he said that his family, his wife's family, has been doing business with the government for decades, and therefore that's nothing new. Well, Faris, you see, your moral compass is so warped. Then, Faris, think about it carefully now. I know it's very hard for you to think. You were not very good in law school. You spent an inordinate amount of time there. Faris, if this was true as you stated, that your family, your wife's family, has been doing business with the government at tunes of hundreds of millions of dollars for decades, then politics and being in government should not have been an option for you. Let that soak in, Faris. Let me repeat, because I know you don't hear well. If what you are saying, Faris, is that your family was lucky, privileged, brilliant, whatever adjectives you want to use, to have been getting rentals for decades from the government, meaning that they had been doing business with the government, lucrative business with the government for decades, then politics was not a choice for you, Faris. You cannot have it both ways. That is the point. So if your family was benefiting from government contracts, then you had to sacrifice by not entering the political arena, not going into cabinet. It was not an option for you because it's inappropriate. It's a conflict of interest, and the conflict existed before your decision to enter politics. Are you too dumb to understand that concept, Faris? Just like I told you, Corky, when I chose to get involved with politics and the prospect of being in the cabinet and a minister, that our decision as a family was that part and parcel of that decision was that we had just eliminated the possibility of government funding, subvention, loan, or money to move our family project of the pool complex, the aquatic complex, forward. I built the National Aquatic Center as the Minister of Sport. utilizing taxpayers' money to provide a facility for the children of Trinidad and Tobago for sport tourism, for growth and development. That is the best aquatic center in the Western Hemisphere, just a few miles up the road here in Couva. There is no facility like that in the entire United States of America. Canada does not have the high quality facility like that. They may have many facilities, but none of that total quality, space, design, and so on. Now, hear me out. If I utilize the Faris principle, then I should have used the taxpayers' dollars to build that aquatic center on my family's parcel of land. For the family aquatic center that we were trying to do all the time. If I was using the Faris concept of ethics, morality, transparency, and accountability, Faris is warped. Because if, as he is saying, his justification is ridiculous. Number one, he cannot justify or does not attempt to justify how, when he came into government, he had no Alexander Tree rental. He sat as the Attorney General, recused himself, and the Alexander Tree, which is his building, was rented by his government. And the Alexander Tree, which is his building, was outfitted by his government. And he recused himself and went outside. He don't try to justify that. He know that wrong, so he just hush. But his second justification in all of these, because when you hear his name, you thought, that is when you thought I was sticking, because I only saying Faris Al-Rawi. Faris Al-Rawi. Faris Al-Rawi in this list of recusals. He then says that his family, which is his wife's family, because he's really Johnny Sukaran, that his wife's family was doing business with the government for decades. And I put it to you, Faris, that when you knew that when you were courting your wife, you would have known that her father and her government and her family do business with the government. And if you moved on from courting to fiancé and engagement, you would have known that by marrying this family who does such lucrative business with the government, any dreams or concepts or desires you had to go into politics and to be a minister in the government would have had to come off the shelf.
Yes.
You have to sacrifice that. You fall in love with somebody who's making money from the government. Yes. Therefore, being a government minister is not a work for you.
Right.
He cannot understand that. He want to have that work and still have the rental and still use taxpayer money and make policy and make law and still get the money and still collect rent and still sit there. That is the problem. No. All your morals and ethics going through, you don't understand. And the mere fact that you try to explain away that in such a, and you talking like you're talking sense, you're an idiot, Faris. If you know your wife's family was in business with the government, then being a member of parliament and a cabinet minister is not on the cards for you. You could still be a pilot. You could still be a businessman. You could be a rental lord, a business lord. You could go and do anything. You could try to have done a case in private practice in the courts. You could have gone and been a football coach. You could have gone and been a weightlifting coach and take more growth hormone that you ever thought you could see. You could have done many other things. But if you choose with your eyes, ears, heart, and soul open to marry into a family that is doing lucrative business with the government of Trinidad and Tobago, then becoming a cabinet minister and swearing on the Bible to do your duty without fear or favor, malice or ill will is not on for you. But you want everything. You crane, you greedy. 218-7762. It may seem simple to normal human beings, but these PNM could never be normal. Something is drastically wrong with them. When you're reading this, going down, Faris Al-Rawi, Honorable Faris Al-Rawi, right? All kind of thing. NGC Class B shares, he recused himself, right? Request for grant of incentives to Foreman Enterprises Limited, tourism. So something that's Daryl Smith. So some company, Daryl Smith, getting some perks or some incentives or some company, even Daryl Smith, before he went and grabbed Pum Pum, he recusing himself. Right? Request for grants of concession for provision of public domestic telecommunication service via a public domestic fixed wireless This is Stuart Young under the niche geographical class. So something to do with broadcasting, something to do with telecommunications. Stuart Young had to recuse himself from that decision in the cabinet. What madness is this? What absolute madness in the PNM? Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Anil, and to all the neighbors out there. Good morning, everybody. Anil, when we were told it was 90-something times that they recused themselves, I kept saying it's 200 plus. I kept saying that. On every media, I kept saying it's 200 plus. And you see now, it has been revealed that it's 200 plus that they recused themselves. How is Keith Rowley now going to justify this? Is he going to start a cuss Kamala again, and then everybody will get distracted? No, this time it's Saram, he's going to cuss. And everybody will get distracted and forget what it is they're doing. Keith Rowley liked to point fingers at people and call them thief. Everybody's a thief, you understand? What is this now? Look at how much billions they took out of this country for friends and family. And you coming to tell the people of this country to wean all yourself off the government? Or they're calling them greedy because they ask for extra hamper or something. Look at up to now, people cannot get the grants and things that they applied for. And even those who are self-employed, and they never got anything because they were not entitled to it. Yeah, these people were every day going out there and making a hustle and getting a dollar. And all they couldn't help these people, but you all were helping all yourself 200 plus times. This is a shame and a disgrace, and I am waiting now to see what the media is going to do about this, and what all the NGOs who are hungering Kamala Prasad Bisesa, what are you all saying and what are you all doing? And this morning, I am calling on Paula May. Come on, either, because being silent now is not an option. It's either you resign or you open your mouth. Break the silence. Thanks a lot, Anil.
Thank you, and you said it well. I mean, Faris Al-Rawi just simply cannot understand. They are so warped. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Anil. So as I was saying earlier, before we went to a break.
Correct.
Right. So these persons, these honorable persons, and I say that word very loosely, now, you know, as we are seeing, they're not that honorable at all. They are lying to us. And they are not upholding the same oath that they swore. And in the same fashion, because it seems as though they love to recuse themselves, they have a habit, they love it, they enjoy it. It's something that is very fun to what they enjoy. Maybe they should recuse themselves from the office that they hold as well. I think they should recuse themselves from that office, from the ministerial office, and from the MP's office. And I want to tell the PNM that Penelope Becker and Henry Brown and all of those, the Keith Scotland, Brian Manning, they're sitting down there quiet and not saying anything, you know. So if they feel they're going to come like a thief in the night and thief the PNM and the captain save a hoe, they're not saving nobody, right? Because they all start in the same cabinet meeting agreeing to this very unfair, very wicked, and callous decision. And I also, you know, it makes sense. Anil, it makes sense how, you know, these persons recuse themselves. So maybe I might be a little different. But when you watch Terrence, he looking bigger, he eating well. I think Terrence need a corset because Terrence, Terrence, he put on some weight. Maybe he needs to go on Jenny Craig. I don't know, but it makes sense. He's eating very well. And Camille Robinson-Ragey, she needs to stop attack Kamala Prasad Bisesa. A man should never attack a woman like that.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Have a good morning. And this one I am seeing here, I would like to ask Alison West. And don't try to answer me like how you try to answer former Minister of PNM Finance, Karen Nunes Teixeira. Alison West, please explain why you had to recuse yourself from the amended gas sales contract between Trinidad and Tobago Upstream Downstream Operations Company Limited and Nikwan Energy Limited in respect of the GTL project. Alison West, please explain that to me. For y'all who don't know this, Nikwan Energy is the Malcolm Jones assets bought with your money that Kamla Prasad Biseso had them in court. Malcolm Jones in court to recoup the money. $3 billion wasted. The PNM then decided to give this $3 billion worth of assets to sell it to Nikwan Energy for the paltry price of 10 million US and 25 million worth in ordinary shares for the government. And then the PNM government put a former permanent secretary, Alison Lewis, on the board of Nikwan and also as chairman of the Port Authority, and another former independent, I say that word and laugh, senator as a member of the board of Nikwan, and they gave them your gas, the minister's share of gas, because the minister represents the people. But in this PNM, the PNM New Society is the minister represents the cabinet and the cabinet represents themselves. And you are to wean yourself off of the government. So I am asking, what connection, Alison West, do you have to Nikwan Energy? This is very interesting. And any media people listening, take down that question and ask Alison West, why did she recuse herself from an amended gas sales contract between Trinidad and Tobago Upstream Downstream Operations Company Limited and Nikwan Energy Limited in respect of the GTL project that nearly blew up the whole of Petrotrin, and they make not a product to sell yet, but get all the resources of the people. Right? Alright, we naming this thing, Lord. He like Angostura bitters. He all over the recusals. Good morning.
Good morning, Anil. Good morning.
Good morning.
One quick point, one question. They like to say that the UNC and the PNM are the same, those so-called independent and those sitting on the fence. Do you recall what Fortan had to go through as minister? A man involved with health, a man involved with treating people to keep them alive. That man had to give up that in order to hold on that ministry. People wouldn't remember that.
Exactly.
Because that is the standard that Kamala that set for her ministers.
Exactly. You know? But sir, could you please explain to the general population and to Faris Al-Rawi that his attempt to justify the corruption and the conflict of interest makes no sense? That if you know that your family is involved in heavy business with the government and government contracts form a great part of your family's revenue streams, then you cannot make a choice to join politics and get in charge of the government. Doesn't that sound simple and logical?
Very simple. Very simple.
Thank you, my brother. I was confused, Corky.
Yeah.
Corky. I confused because I think it's quite basic that if I am lucky and privileged, because there are not many people who benefit to the tune of $100 million of government work per year. And if my family is benefiting from government contracts of $100 million per year of taxpayers' dollars, then it is simple. No matter how much I want to be in politics, I cannot go.
Right.
Isn't that simple? But no, Al-Rawi know that and still gone with the cranny, greedy self. Good morning. Morning.
Yeah, it's me again, Anil. I didn't get to ask my question.
Oh God, sorry, my brother.
Yeah, just one question. Any update on the matter with the lady that's taking the report? Any update on that?
No update yet, but we'll keep monitoring it. It's in the court, so, we have to wait for little reports coming out.
Okay.
But it is going through that process.
Thanks.
Okay, my brother. Blessings. And as soon as I get any information, I will update you. But, and with court matters, you have to be very careful, and the information has to be absolutely precise. Good morning.
Daniel.
Yes, sir.
The problem in this country, Mrs. Kamala Prasad feeds from the babies to the elderly. This government suffering from the babies to the elderly. And I hope Mrs. Paula may we seeing this and put a light into her heart and be a goddess of light and not of darkness. Come out, Miss Paula, may we speak the truth and set the people free of this country. Have a blessed and wonderful day, sir.
Thank you, my brother. Let me read out some more of the cabinet recusals. The Honorable Stuart Small-Pin-Young recused himself in 2018 as his brethren and his friends and them stayed in the room as he went out to drink some wonton soup. He heard the thing that he recused himself for. The award of a mandate to NCB Global Finance Limited. Now, if you don't know who's NCB Global Finance, that's Stuart Young's brother company that he's the CEO of. Right? To grant them. So the cabinet note comes in a big stack like this, Cocky, high up here. And you sit down in the cabinet and the prime minister, who's the chairperson of the note, says, okay, let's go. And they go through the first note, and the first note might be, Anil, sport, you're building the aquatic center, update on the project, discussion. People ask questions, whatever. And you keep going through. And when they reach a note, NCB Global Finance being awarded, we are going to decide to award them a 10-year fixed rate loan at the amount of 180.3 million for UD cut. Stuart Young said, wait, excuse me, that is my brother. I have to come out the room. And he step out the room, the Prime Minister and all the other recusal twins and recusal ministers say, yes, we approve that for our colleague's brother company to make profit on the government taxpayers while he swear on the oath to provide service and to serve the country without fear or favor. We approve that. Tell him come back in. Tell him come back in. Tell him come back in. Come back in. We don't approve. And he come back in and sit down and go on to the next note. That is what they do. That is utter and total madness, Cocky. Good morning.
Good morning, Anil.
Morning.
Faris Al-Rawi, if he see an opportunity to make some money and enrich himself and the people don't want to do nothing about it, I don't see a problem. The people allowing it to happen.
Well, my brother.
You know, everybody want to enrich themselves and make things better for themselves. I don't see a problem. The people don't see a problem.
Well, boy, I hope you're wrong and that the people really see a problem. They just don't know what to do, you know. I hope so. Because this is black and white here, you know.
I disappearing in the bush, boy. I coming out from this place.
All right, my brother.
Gone.
Blessings. But is correct. And you all have this person pontificating and talking still. And this is just some, you know. Yeah. This thing frightening, you know. I just go in and look. Al-Rawi again. Lease or rental of office space in a building located at numbers 19, 29, and 29 in Estate Trace Barataria. Right? Yeah. Then, we have Al-Rawi. Proposed lease or rental of an office building located at number 3 Alexander Street. That is his own building. His own all you're not even understanding what I'm saying, you know. Yeah. And people try to defend this. So Faris, and this was the proposed. So this was in, the year was 2018. So that must be the renewal of the lease, maybe. Or was this the original lease in 2018? Oh, yes, this is the original because it must be renewing all now. So he had to recuse himself just now to renew the lease. So the 23 million up already because it's 2018. We in 2021. So he's starting a new 3 years. So he's starting a next 23.6 million. Ladies and gentlemen, including PNM supporters, all you just stop, because all you can't get a laptop. They take away the $5,000 from you for a laptop. They take away the subsidy, gas subsidy for you to get gas in your car. $500 per month, $6,000 per year, $36,000 for the last 6 years. They take away that from you. But look what they sit down and give themselves. Even if you're a PNM supporter, born, bred, believe, read the Constitution, love your red. How can you justify this? This is sounds correct? That a minister, an attorney general, who already getting salary as a minister, as a MP, plus perks, plus could buy Porsche without tax and so on, could buy 3 Porsche in 5 years and sell it and forget to transfer it. On top of all of that, travel budget, food and entertainment budget, on top of all the normal perks for a hard-working minister of government, this, and we look at it right here, 2018, sits down in the cabinet. The Prime Minister pulled whatever note number this was, and he says, well, Prime Minister, I must step out of this meeting. And you are telling me the other 21 ministers in there, other than the Prime Minister who are left there, they hear Al-Rawi say this. This note involves my building, the building that I own on Alexander Tree in St. Clair. This is the rental that the government will like to rent my building. So I will have to step out and not take any part in this discussion, okay? I'll be back just now. And he walks out. And then the other 22 ministers, the Prime Minister and 21, sit down there and say, yes, should we approve this? The building looks like, no, it's not really outfitted. It's just concrete. There's no air conditioner, no ducts, no fixtures, no fittings, no partitions, no stairs, no glass, no signage, no rooms, no doors, no toilets, and so on. So we can't really rent that, So let's put this note aside and tell whoever is bringing this note, you all bring another note to get some more taxpayers' dollars to outfit the building for Faris. He's outside there, so he's not taking part in the discussions. Okay, so let's stand down this note because the building is not really ready for us to rent it. So let's bring another note. Minister, who are you? You over there housing? Is it you? PMCD? Who's in charge of the rental of buildings? It used to be under housing. Where did I put it? Okay, yes, you minister. You bring a cabinet note for 3 Alexander Street. Now remember, this is our colleague's building, so we need to outfit it. Let some of the engineers and so on go in there and tell us how much money he will need. Let's help him out so that we could rent it. Right now we can't really rent it because it's not really good. There are no toilet to sit down in and take a dump, So let's put in some toilet for Faris and thing. So stand it down. Call him back. We will deal with this next few weeks. That's what's going on in the cabinet, and y'all as PNM find that right? Y'all who can't get school feeding, they cut pan in school, they cut everything. You can't get 2 hamper. If you get 2 hamper, you're greedy. If you get more than $1,500 by 3 months, you're greedy, even though they're on shutdown, lockdown, and broke down for 10 months. And y'all find that right? I want a PNM person to justify that one for me. That Faris Al-Rawi rent out his own building and outfit his own building and stay there as Attorney General in the government. I just justify that one for me. A PNM. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, morning.
Morning.
How could the Attorney General recuse himself from a cabinet meeting? One of the persons who must be in that meeting is the Attorney General.
Absolutely correct.
Huh?
Absolutely correct. Once he step out of that meeting, any decision taken is not valid because he must be in the meeting.
Exactly, so how could he recuse
So
himself?
therefore, even that and all
So
is
what
a
kind of
null and
cabinet that
void.
is?
Exactly. I'm glad you know the intricacies of the workings of the cabinet. You're absolutely correct. I'm trying to clear the line so let a PNM justify that. I want to hear a PNM say that is 100% great. That's what you voted for a man, Johnny Sukaran, to go in a cabinet. Let the brethren them approve the rental of the building and outfit the building for him. But you can't even get a HDC house. You can't even get a little grant to fix your roof, a self-help grant. You can't even get nothing when it flood. And if your fridge gone swimming down the sewer water, you can't get nothing. A lady in Beetham flood out since 2018. She ain't get a cent yet. But Al-Rawi step out with a cup of coffee. And his friends and them not only agree to rent the building, but to fix it up for him. To make sure it's nice and it have nice carpet and tile and thing and ventilation and AC and thing and the walls paint up and they put up some nice light and glass and put up door partition. They outfit the building for him too with your money and then telling you the government needs money, so we're coming to tax you. And when they come to tax you, they say property tax will bring in 100 million. And then they sign an agreement with Rowley Friend for 118 million and go against senior counsel advice to appeal the case. And you all find that right. And I'm not seeing no PNM calling 218-7762. I want PNM to call and defend Faris Al-Rawi. I want to hear the justification. Please, I would love to. Hello?
Anil, I'm a PNM, I'm a proud PNM.
Good.
I hear what you're saying about Harari, but Kamala shoe don't match his dress.
Oh, Lord, yes. Oh, boy. Yes, that's terrible. It should be on a front page that her shoe didn't match her dress. Thank you. 218-7762, you see? This is very serious things. I'm not going through this thing. Look, even Keith Rowley, right? Keith Rowley recused himself from a grant of a deed of lease to the Zoological Society of Trinidad and Tobago, incorporated in respect of a parcel of state land situated at the corner of the Zoo Road and Circular Road. What, Rowley, what you have to do with that? You own that piece of land? You put somebody from your family on the Zoological Society, on the zoo board. What it is? Why you recuse yourself from the zoo? I don't want to say that you... I don't want to say it, Rowley. I don't want to say it. Oh, Lord, Rowley. You recuse yourself from conflict of interest with family members in the zoo. Rowley, don't try that, you know. Don't try that with the douglAr at all. 218, if I know PNM callers calling, man. PNM, I just want to tell you today, I want to hear this because, no, really and truly. Let me stop kicking. This is a serious thing. And I empathize with the PNM supporters because they really could not have voted for that. You understand? They voted because they believe the lies of Rowley, that he is a corruption buster and he wants to do what's good for them and he wants to be prime minister to enrich their country and improve their lives and improve the health system and the opportunities for the children and education and so on. I could understand the PNM people who believe that. But I want them to defend Al-Rawi renting out your own building. Good morning.
Good morning. Right, I had Miss Sahina, so I'm back inside.
Yes, man.
Blues, left, right, and center, boxing. Listen to this. Remember what the PNM wanted to do with the Freedom of Information Act? You remember what they did to the integrity in public life? They tried to remove various clauses to benefit themselves. Look what if they got their way with, I think it was about a year ago, 2 years ago, when there was an uproar in the country with respect to the Freedom of Information Act. You think Saddam would have gotten all that information? They wanted to hide that. So every action that the PNM takes, there is some consequences. Waiting for the Public Procurement Act, all the things that they mash up, what's of a corrupt deal they have done. That is the other one to blow up in the face, because it is on page 41 of the O'Halloran manual, you know. You didn't get a copy, Anil?
No.
Remember?
Was page 41 of the O'Halloran manual? I didn't read that one.
Right. So only people who are members of the Brotherhood of Wrongdoers got that manual, you know. So it gives you the playbook. It tells you what they're doing and how they want to do. Remember one Alexander Street? There was, the man said he preparing for that since in 2009.
Yes.
You understand? So they follow exactly what O'Halloran did in that manual.
You know,
to take from the public purse.
You know, you must have been reading what I have on my phone here from Saddam Hussein, because you said something about the Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets Act, right?
Right.
And right here, remember they took out some portions with legal services and medical services and so on.
Right. That tell only.
Well, look at what I just put my finger on out of this 29 pages. Let me read another one of Faris Al-Rawi's recusals. You ready?
Yeah.
The Honorable Faris Al-Rawi recused himself in 2018 from the discussion of this cabinet note, a proposal for the remission of customs duty and VAT payable on a PET CT scan machine imported by Alexandra Imaging Center.
The medical center somewhere in Sawa down there that has a big Alexandra sign has anything to do with it? Where that machine went?
Well, I don't know, but it went to Alexandra Imaging Center. So Faris...
That is the same thing opposite Solo Boy.
Well, Faris Al-Rawi recused himself from a decision to allow them to bring in a machine, an expensive machine, without customs duty and VAT, for the proposal for the remission of customs duty and VAT payable on the PET CT scan. So does Faris Al-Rawi have some sort of shareholding or family relation? What is the conflict of interest that Faris Al-Rawi has with the Alexandra Imaging Center? Because I ask it because, as you said, they brought and came to gut the procurement legislation, and one of the areas that they took out of the oversight of the Office of the Regulator was medical services.
But you know what they do too? They punish citizens. They wanted to mudball the Cuba Children's Hospital that had all the sophisticated equipment, that had all the thing, that trained people in robotics and all kind of thing. But the COVID is like karma. Hit them it hard from behind. So they had to use that as an excuse to open it up, because they wanted to mudball that hospital so friends and family will benefit at the Alexandra Medical Center. You understand? Link it, easy. I mean to say he didn't give his set of people laptops so they couldn't Google and go back in history. You remember they want to come up with a history book. They don't want to put that in the history book, But I'll get a copy of the O'Halloran manual, PNM style, and distribute it.
No thanks. Okay, my brother. I want to know also, Faris Al-Rawi recused himself from additional funding for the hosting of Carrie Festa in Trinidad and Tobago over the period of August 16th to 25th. Why are you recusing yourself over Carrie Festa? Don't tell me somebody you know get a contract to supply something during Carrie Festa. All you want everything, Faris. All you are in everything. You're like Angostura Bitters. Good morning, Carrie Festa. Cocky, look, you in music, you in production. Do you get any little work in Carrie Festa? Good morning.
I'm a first-time caller, but I listened since Ali was there with the kids. And Yesterday and today is the worst reception. I wouldn't listen again because I'm not there. It's too much.
Where you living?
Call up a check for me, please.
Yes, where you living, my dear?
I live in Santa Cruz Old Road.
Santa Cruz Old Road. Okay, my dear. Management listening, I will report again. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Sorry. We'll try to fix it, okay? Santa Cruz Old Road. All right, thank you. Oh, Lord. Management. And they say all this PNM, but give me some clear signal now, man. What going on with all here? Yeah? The PNM don't like all your management. You can't get no recusal here. Fix the thing now, man. Hello? Good morning. Hello?
Hello, morning.
Morning. You're on the air live on U97.5 FM.
Morning, Anil.
Morning.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I realize the PNM people, they can't defend this thing, right?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna say what you did be saying on social media whenever you talk about Paris and these buildings.
Come
right?
on, tell me.
Well, Kamla and them used to rent from Paris between 2010 and 2015.
Pause there.
I'll listen off it.
Oh, no. That is the only thing that I say? All right. No, it's not. You have to understand, people, when Kamla became prime minister, you all have to understand that a contract is a legal document. And just because you come in and government change and you don't like somebody, you cannot break the law. We're all governed by laws. Kamla Prasad Bisesa as prime minister was governed by the rule of law. So what the PNM did with Alexander 1, which is Faris's father-in-law building, right, his wife family building, when they came in, they signed a contract in late 2009, 2010 for $1 million a month rent for that building. The PNM signed that. I think it was a 3-year contract. Now, when we came into government, the contract had been signed, and therefore it's a duly signed and enforceable contract. A government cannot just go, just like how you saw the irresponsible PNM under Rowley, ignore a contract and park up a helicopter for 5 years, and then you, the taxpayers, have to now go and pay hundreds of millions of dollars in damages and lease and rental, and the helicopter never flew a year. That is the sort of irresponsible stupidity that Rowley does. So that contract was signed, sealed, and delivered. When we came in, the Honorable Chandra Sharma was the Minister of Local Government, and that building was supposed to be for the Ministry of Local Government. When they went in there, they saw that the building was not even outfitted, but yet the PNM had signed an agreement and a contract and a lease duly enforced and signed for $1 million per month. So the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Local Government and the engineers at the Ministry of Local Government had to come up with a plan to get it outfitted so the people of Trinidad and Tobago could get value for money and that it could be used. At that time, Kent House needed to be refurbished and the employees, rain was falling on them, they walking through on the floor, mash up and so on. So the contract was already signed and delivered and legally enforceable. Then the problem came when we tried to outfit it. Contractors gave too high a bid and then they brought up something so they had to re-tender and so on. So let Faris stop talking nonsense. The PNM went before approvals, before outfitting, and signed the government and committed the people to a contract. All Kamla Prasad Bisesana government could do is follow the rule of law. End of story. Not we went and want to rent out building. The building was rented. Furthermore, Faris says that governments do business with his family. Well, I am saying to Faris, yes, okay. Well, you're very lucky, Faris. I'm proud of you that your family makes lots and lots of money from the treasury, from the taxpayers. And you knew this before you decided to jump into politics, Faris. And if you knew that, Faris, then politics should not have been an option for you because your family does business with the government. And therefore, it is totally inappropriate for someone who does that extent of business with the government to be in government. Faris, you can't understand that simple concept. 218-7762. U97.5. You're on Doubles and Coffee. And when we come back, Madam President, Paula May Weeks, you have a lot of questions still to answer, you know. Martin Daly is still asking questions. I must commend Martin Daly. I don't normally agree with him. I think that he also had conflicts of interest. And I'm seeing a rumor that, Madam President, you are still trying to appoint people to fill the gaping hole and the gaps in the collapsed Police Service Commission. Madam President, do you think you should really be doing that? Don't you think that being the person who appointed and presided over the total collapse of the Police Service Commission, that you yourself should go, that you don't get a second chance to do the right thing? You don't understand the Westminster system, that you need to resign on that alone? Then I will ask you about August 12th also. Hello?
Hello, good morning, Robert.
Morning.
How you going, my brother?
Hi there, fighting up.
Saying this man, boy, about to wheel off the government and give a break. Now, nobody didn't tell him, we lost a week, okay, we have a break. You understand, man, didn't want them. You see now, he's like a wolf, he's sheep in. And that way doing is a wicked man, all of them.
But and that's my problem. That's my point. I am feeling empathy for PNM supporters. Thank you, my brother. You make the point. 218-7762. Because the PNM supporters who vote cannot believe this morning that while Rowley is shouting and telling you, wean yourself off the government, we have no money, we need to tax you, we need to scrape out every cent out of your pocket, we need to punish you for success, we need to check your house, and if you have air conditioning and tile, we need to raise your electricity rates, we need to raise your water rates, we want to raise your rates of gas that you put in your car so you cannot buy as much gas, we want to take away your subsidy, we even try to take away your cooking gas subsidy. We need to wean you off the government. Y'all are becoming too accustomed to the government supporting you and helping you with taxpayers' dollars. That is the new society of the PNM under Rowley. Okay. Then I ask all PNM supporters, if that's the policy, and we must all wean ourselves. The government doesn't have the money to continue the programs, the URP, the civilians Conservation Corps, the youth camps, the nursing schools, the gate-funded program for your children to educate themselves and not be stymied due to lack of funding. The PNM does not have the money to continue feeding our children as they go to school so they can be bright. Then how come the PNM has all these recusals and all these conflicts of interest and all these decisions to enrich themselves and their families, and how they have to step out of so many meetings? A cabinet meeting is 1 meeting per week, 52 meetings per year. Yet we are seeing recusals in the hundreds, meaning that the cabinet, their families, their friends, their business interests and their business partners have not been weaning themselves of the government. In fact, they've been eating at the fatted calf. So I ask my PNM brothers and sisters, how does that fit in? How does that fit into the policy espoused by Keith Rowley about a new society where you, the people, pay more taxes, they borrow more, your children have to pay back that for decades to come, but all they do is sit down in the cabinet and enrich one another? The Cosa Nostra, they keep each other's secrets. They keep each other's secrets and they keep moving. How do you justify that with their new society plan for you? I feel sorry for my PNM brothers and sisters. You have been hoodwinked. You have been bamboozled. You've been lied to. You've been run amok. But don't worry. The chickens are coming home to roost, Faris. The chickens are coming home to roost, Rowley. The chickens are coming home to roost, Paula May. The chickens are coming home to roost on the PNM for lying to their people and lying to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We join MCTV now for the news. You're on 97.5 FM, doubles and coffee.
Celebrate Republic Day with a craving for savings extravaganza. Masada Food King celebrates with pride our nation's 45th Republic Day, and we're giving you a national sale of savings like no other with over 250 super saving deals
on MCTV.
This is the 8 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. Good morning once again. Safe zones were established to start operations yesterday, with restaurants allowed to have in-house dining for vaccinated persons. Speaking on state media this morning, restaurateur and business owner Peter George noted it was a slow start to the ease in regulations.
It was gentle. So I guess for the first day that was not entirely unwelcome, because we had an opportunity to really work through some of the conditions that we weren't entirely clear on, like presentation of vaccination cards, how those things are going to work, and so on and so forth. So from that perspective, the gentleness and the softness was welcomed. But from what I understand, I'm not in the country right now. But what I understand from my guys, everything went smoothly.
George expressed hope the hospitality, food and beverage sector does not experience another lockdown.
We're hoping that this is not, another, couple of weeks and so on. I think the realization now is after 18 months that we now have to, really press ahead. There's still some concerns with, and I understand yesterday even customers were asking the question of the managers. As people were, why did it take so long? And what's the difference between restaurants and, and other businesses that don't have the conditions? There was tremendous disquiet yesterday with the children thing. Actually, a couple, the first.
The union representing teachers is expected to meet with the Ministry of Education this coming Wednesday. The details of this meeting are not yet known. And the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association is not yet sure if they will attend. More in this report from Rishi Harinanan.
Last Friday, Minister of Education Dr. Nian Gadsby-Dolly announced that fully vaccinated students in Forms 1 to 3 should be returning to physical classes in about 2 weeks' time. On Monday, Tutor President Antonia de Freitas said it was unfortunate such a decision was announced in Parliament without informing the union first, even though both parties met the day before.
What exactly are we going to discuss? Are we going to discuss a foregone conclusion? Or are we simply going and be told what is happening? Or are we going to be able to make our recommendations, voice our concerns, and have them heard and taken into serious consideration? So that's where we are at as far as the situation goes with the return of students.
Mr. Freitas said the union is not averse to attending any meeting. However, it must first consult with its members before a decision is taken. She said the reality is that many students may not be able to attend schools given the socio-economic challenges facing them.
We would say that because the reality is, when you look at the timing, if you're projecting 2 to 3 weeks, in the first instance, let's take the socio-economic situation of many parents, some of whom have been challenged in one way or the other through their employment. You are asking parents now who would have bought books for September because they expected to be online. You are asking parents now to find the funds to purchase uniforms, or for the students, purchase the uniforms, to make sure and arrange appropriate transport for them. A number of these transport providers have not been working consistently for the last few months, and even out of the reopening from the 4th, they have not been consistent.
Only vaccinated students are allowed to attend these physical classes. However, the Freitas said her teachers will report to classes when instructed to do so. As the COVID-19 situation continues to affect the country, the tutor president has put forward a suggestion to deal with the current schooling problem.
The recovery process is to get children back into school, and tutor is not opposed to that at all. We know we have to get our children back into school. The issue is you want to get them back safely and where they can maximize the time and the opportunity that they have. So without having proper connectivity, or without some of these students having devices, what you find is that there are still students, as you said, who would not be able to access the education. One of our suggestions was that you continue with the virtual engagement, at least until you were sure that either the health scenario as pronounced upon by the Minister of Health and the CMO would have been safe enough, and we have not heard that, or you make sure that all the students you want to come out have the necessary devices and connectivity. Because we are faced with a scenario where the ministry and the state wants to go ahead with this parallel teaching hybrid learning, which, as I said, we are not going to tolerate. And you're giving parents devices, but where they live, they don't have proper connectivity. I mean, look at what is happening this morning. I was supposed to do a Zoom interview.
Yes.
And for the last, 24 hours, a meeting I had yesterday, I kept being...
Rishi Harinanan reporting for MCTV News.
MCTV's roving cameraman, that should be Che Tikasing, recently visited the only $2 double stand in Trinidad and Tobago in Pinal and got mixed reactions to the suggestion that customers can be asked to pay more than they are accustomed to. As in nearby Debe, doubles are being sold for $5 and $6.50 for pies, sahina, kachori and baigani, of course with chana. Here's the story from Zaid Mohammed.
The only $2 doubles stand in Trinidad and Tobago, located in Pinal, attracts a steady stream of customers, lured by its uniquely affordable cost and its reputation among connoisseurs of the national dish. However, its owners could be under pressure to hike the price of the silky bara and curry de chana delicacy because of the prevailing economic situation in the country. Sam Sokrali of Bunsey Trace doesn't think there should be a change in the price, mainly because salaries have not gone up.
Actually, why we support this place is because it's $2 and the place is so hard right now. Why all should raise doubles for now when things so hard? I think now is for when everybody should be watching at the scene and drop their price so that everybody could be assisted.
So I mean, cost of living going up, everything going up. You don't think they should go up too?
Well, I mean, everybody has to live too, yeah. But going up is one, yeah. But everything going up. Just imagine everything going up, but man paid over.
But Sally Ramuta of Pinal Rock Road believes that the price of ingredients to make doubles have skyrocketed, and customers are also treated to a range of sides of spicy sauces and chutneys. She won't mind paying more.
Well, it's only fair because flour went up. All these necessities of to make the doubles, all these things went up. Chana, flour, baking powder, curry. I don't think curry, but I know definitely the flour and the oil as well. Even a keg of oil is like $300 and something, right? So it's only fair that they should raise the price because everything going up, right? And even the $2 here, the knick-knack, which is a good offer of $2. But soon I think they might raise, I'm not sure, right? But the economy, as you could tell, everything is going up.
So with the opening of the safe zones today, doubles lovers will continue to relish their favorite snack, but not smacking their lips in anticipation of forking out extra money for the culinary delight. I am Zaid Mohammed reporting for MCTV.
Thank you very much for that report, Zaid Mohammed. Taking a look at your weather now for the period today until midnight in Trinidad and Tobago. Sunny apart from showers over a few areas. There is also a low to medium chance of isolated thunderstorm activity, especially over Tobago. Tonight will be partly cloudy at times with isolated showers. Street flooding and gusty winds are possible. Last night's minimum temperature was 25.4 degrees Celsius, while today's maximum is an expected 33 degrees Celsius. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. news on MCTV and U975, Hot Like Pepper Radio.
And that's news on U97.5 FM, MCTV, WBHM, the Voice of Rock, and Fun Radio. Sponsored by Newsday.
every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life, because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Celebrate Republic Day with a craving for savings extravaganza. Passad the Food King celebrates with pride our nation's 45th Republic Day, and we're giving you a national sale of savings like no other. With over 250 super saving deals to choose from, you can be sure to budget like a boss and eat like a king in these tough times with your favorite family supermarket, Passad the Food King. Check this out: Mabel Morby concentrate 2 for $10, Pepsi 2 liter 3 for $18, Red Rose tea bags 3 packs for $20, Maya laundry detergent powdered assorted 6 packs for $20, Hibiscus all-purpose flour 4 packs for $20, and a soft and pretty bathroom tissue 6 pack 2 for $18.99. Yes, that's right. This Republic Day and beyond, the unbelievable deals, the specials, and the savings are available at all Passad the Food King locations: Manson La Road, Mayaro, Tabaquite Road, Rio Claro, New Grand, 2 stores in Quincestown, 2 in Point Fortin, and Premier Street, Marabella, next to the Marabella Market.
KFC snack pack, yeah it's back. The tasty value snack. No one else give me that. KFC snack pack, get your money's worth. KFC snack pack, now you're serving like an expert.
KFC Snack Pack. Tasty, great value meal is back. For a limited time, enjoy 2 pieces of chicken and 1 regular fries for just $28. KFC Snack Pack. Value never tasted this good.
Welcome to the Value Optical Rock the Frame Festival Red Carpet, where we... Wait, Rennie, is that you?
Yes, darling.
Okay.
Hey, it's me. I get 15% off these frames and another 10% off the add-ons.
Tell us some more.
The Rock the Frame Festival is on now with fabulous deals on frames and lenses.
There you have it, folks. Book online or hurry down to rock your look at the Value Optical Rock the Frame Festival now. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
ST2 Industrial Services, a STO certified company, specializes in the following: abrasive blasting, industrial, marine, and commercial painting services, installation of acid linings, tank linings, and complex coatings in the petrochemical industry, process plants turnaround, abrasive blasting and painting services, coating inspection services, pressure washing, specialized structural concrete repairs, in-house NACE coating inspectors level 1 to level 3. Our abrasive blasting and painting facility is located in the Point Lisas Industrial Estate. All work is performed by certified blasters and painters. Contact ST2 Industrial Services Limited, a STO certified company, at 269-0516.
Om Dum Durga Aye Namaha. Join with Pandit Sunil Sitahal Maharaj and the Ganesh Utsav Foundation for live coverage of 9 nights Devi Yagna from Thursday, October 7th to Friday, October 15th on U97.5 FM and MCTV promptly at 6:30 p.m. Sponsored by Passad's the Food King, Bright Ideas, Fresh Oven, Fresh Harvest, Trintec Chrome and Hydraulic Services Limited, Sona's Jewelry and Gift Center, Oma's Puja Store, Davies and Devata's Woodworking Company, and Herbs and Health.
This Navratri, shop and save at Prem Singh's Puja Bhavan. Shop early and avoid the Diwali rush. We have new arrivals of imported decorated diyas in vibrant colors, plus Havan packs, Diwali decorations, pirhas, and wooden baby boxes. Try our economical and convenient variety packs of wax and plain Dias. Plus, get your oil and wicks, floating and cotton. At Prem Singh's, we have freshly prepared dahi and ground elaichi powder, plus prasad bags, sweet boxes, and paper suhari leaves. If you're fasting, you'll enjoy our vegetarian products, Indian groceries, curries and spices, and make sure to order your Navratri and Diwali sweets early. Prem Singh's Puja Bhavan for one-stop shopping at affordable prices. We're at the corner of Watt Street in Curep. Call 663-6084 and to St. I Street, Shogunas, opposite the Charlieville taxi stand. Call 672-4423. Prem Singh's Puja Bhavan. Visit us today. It's a family tradition, serving the nation and Dharma.
And we're back inside on U97.5 FM, Doubles and Coffee. Good morning. We humbly apologize for some of you not receiving the feed, the radio program broadcast as powerfully as possible. We have made the reports to management and they will look into it.
They're working on it. Yeah.
All right. So the show is growing in all areas, so these teething problems will be expected, but we humbly apologize.
Yes.
Try it. I go talk louder so even through the crackle you go hear me now. Because I'm going to read from a Renuka Singh article in The Guardian. It's The Guardian 9 hours ago, Monday, October 11, 2021. Renuka Singh. Senior Counsel Martin Daly is calling on both President Paula May Weeks and Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to justify an alleged meeting with former Police Service Commission Chairman Bliss Seepersad. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley was asked by members of the media on the weekend whether he met with Seepersad at the office of the President on August 12th and did not answer the question directly. Instead, he said that he carried out his duty. Daly, in a statement yesterday, said that Section 81 of the Constitution does oblige the Prime Minister to keep the President of the Republic fully informed concerning the general conduct of the government of Trinidad and Tobago and to provide any information she may request with respect to any particular matter relating to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. He added, this is Senior Counsel Martin Daly, this duty to inform the President does not seem to provide an excuse for meeting the then chair of the Police Service Commission at President's house when the chair was there on Police Service Commission business. Moreover, says Daly, this section cannot justify the President of the Republic taking instructions in respect of the work of the Police Service Commission if that is what happened on August 12th. It appears to me, says Daly, that the President cannot, on her own initiative, take legally effective action or omit to do anything that she is required by law to do regarding the Police Service Commission, based on information she receives from the Prime Minister, unless some specific section of the Constitution or other law enables or empowers her so to do. The seeking of refuge by reference to the duty to inform to explain apparent interference in the work of the Police Service Commission increases the urgent need for the President to do the right thing, said Martin Daly. The office of President ought to explain the goings-on at President's house on August 12, 2021, and the basis of what Her Excellency is or is not doing with the list of candidates for the office of the Police Commissioner, which a top official of the Service Commission's department has stated on oath was in fact delivered to her. This is very serious, and that's the point. Martin Daly has made it succinctly. The total obfuscation and attempt to blur lines by Keith Christopher Rowley will not suffice. Yes, Keith Rowley has a duty under Section 81 to inform keep the president abreast and informed of government policy. Government is the cabinet. Government is the executive. Government is the policy making. Government decisions. Government information. Economic and fiscal policy. That's what he has to do. The Prime Minister has no duty or authority to intervene, interface, interfere with the work of the Independent Police Service Commission and them conducting their duty, their process. None whatsoever. In fact, any attempt by a Prime Minister to so intervene can be deemed to be misbehavior in public office, as you are impacting the rule of law, trampling the Constitution, and breaching the principle of the separation of powers. So no set of bravado, bullying, and old talk about, I keep the president informed. Yes, you could keep the president informed how much you want, but you cannot interfere in independent work, especially of that of the Police Service Commission, in the appointment of a commissioner of police who has to be fiercely independent to even lock you up, to investigate you, the Prime Minister. The commissioner of police must have the freedom to investigate even a Prime Minister. No one is above the law. So therefore, a Prime Minister can have and play no part in the selection or influence the process whatsoever. It is madness. It's undemocratic. It's unconstitutional. It's wrong. And Paula May Weeks, I don't know if you understand what is taking place. Let me first of all talk about it from a personal point of view. Anyone who knows me and who has listened to any program that I have, whether it was on the Power Drive, Power 102.1 FM, with the great legendary Sprangalang and Christopher Sion, a show that led the ratings in 2008, 2009, 2010, got an afternoon share of 28%, which was 89,000 people listening per hour. A show with Sprangalang, myself and Chris, that on a Friday evening from 4 to 7, we beat 96.1 who was playing music while we were talking issues. We were at 28% and they were down at 13%. And you would know that in all those years, and whether on TV, on Gael, the channel with Spork, or whether on douglAr Politics, or right here now on Coffee and Doubles on U97.5 FM, I try not to involve the President of the Republic in any discussion whatsoever. I really try. But this one, it is impossible so to do. The mere fact that I have to come here every morning and beseech the President to answer, to make a statement, this is critical. This is about our Constitution. This is about our democracy. This is about who we are. This is about the rule of law. This incident that took place with the collapse of the Police Service Commission involves the Office of the Prime Minister, the Office of the President, the Police Service Commission, the Commissioner of Police position, involves the Cabinet, the National Security Council. This involves the Parliament. This involves all aspects and arms of our democracy. It is the most critical situation in our history as a young Republican nation. It is a crisis of untold proportions. It deals and goes to the heart of democracy, the rule of law. And for us, I thought that we were in a privileged position to have as our president a legal luminary. I told you all my first year of law school while I was coaching, because our track was only law in my family. There was no other job. They had no doctor, no surgeon, no businessman, no radio talk show host, no writer, no novelist, no businessman. It didn't have nothing except law in my family. And when I was beginning my law after doing economics, Paula May Weeks was my lecturer. and she lectured a big yellow book on constitutional law. Paula May Weeks is a constitutional scribe, wise lady, intelligence. I then learned that at Hugh Woodin she was a professor of the ethics of law. She was also a learned, and according to senior counsel Israel Khan, brilliant, well-read, fair, impartial, interpretive of the laws. She was a great High Court justice. So one would think that in a situation like that, there would be no president better and more qualified to put even a prime minister in his or her place when they were stepping over the bounds of the separation of powers and the rule of law. There would be no person more qualified on August 12, 2021 than Paula May Weeks, President of the Republic, to tell Keith Christopher Rowley on August 12, 2021, stop, cease, desist, leave, in a respectful manner, of course. No one more qualified so to do, because she has the, you cannot say in the case of Paula May Weeks that she may not have known. She knows every section of the Constitution inside out. Maybe I would venture that she could quote it by heart. And this is why it's worrying. Why am I here on U97.5 discussing the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago? Madam, your silence is deafening. In the vacuum, you are allowing speculation to run rife. Questions abound. Why are you silent? Your entire police service commission that you appointed has collapsed and all have resigned. That alone would suggest in the highest principles of Westminster that you tender your resignation right there and then, without anything else, without you having done anything wrong. Just the fact that you don't have many duties. You have very few duties and very few discretions. And the mere fact that one of those few duties that you had to do, you did so poorly that your police service commission, a critical arm in the exercise of critical work in order to keep your citizens safe. As we are dying over the weekend, we see 9 murders in a state of emergency. The place is, as the youths and them will say, getting hot. Paula May Weeks, you should have resigned just by that collapse without any other further information. As a starting point, you should have resigned. But now the imbroglio gets worse and involves you, involves the office of the president, involves the actual building of the office, where the office of the president is housed. It involves the prime minister. It involves Bliss C. Prasad, the chairman of the Police Service Commission appointed by you. And yet you have stayed silent as the entire country is left to speculate. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has stated on the record on several occasions that her information is that it was the Prime Minister who attended President's house to intercept the chairman. Now you know full well, Prime Minister or no Prime Minister, whoever it was from that cabinet and so on, but we know it was Rowley. But you know that they are not to be there. You know that it's not on. You know that it's unconstitutional. You know that Prime Minister Rowley should not get involved in the work of your Police Service Commission that you appointed. You knew that you shouldn't get involved. Because while it was collapsing, you stated in the newspapers, one of the few things you said was that I could not get involved. And you as president could not get involved. You knew that. You stated that on the record. But yet Rowley, who has less authority and duty under the Constitution than you, he could get involved? How do you rationalize that difference? You cannot. It's wrong. You failed in your duty to put the Prime Minister in his place. Because whether he contacted you, how did he get the information that Bliss Prasad was coming with the merit list? Who facilitated the meeting? How did he reach by President's house? You control President's house. You and you only. So as he reached by the gate and he trying to come in, you should have sent a strong message to say, no, sir, not here. The Police Service Commission chair is here to do an independent job, and there will be no interference whatsoever from any politician, whether Prime Minister, Minister, or anyone. Because you are the defender of the Constitution, you know the constitutional clauses, you know the powers, you know the separation of powers, you know the rule of law. And there is no one I put more suitably qualified to have told the Prime Minister, bus out of here and go by your house around the corner. But you didn't. And now you remain silent. The entire country is waiting on you. Martin Daly has written 5 articles and 5 press releases calling upon you to speak. The country calls upon you to speak. The leader of the opposition has called upon you to answer questions. Members of the opposition have written, all 19 members of parliament. The parliament falls under you. You are the president of the republic. All 19 members of the United National Congress have written you, and you've refused to acknowledge the letter. You've refused to respond, to ask you questions about that meeting on August 12th. How did it operate? Who told Rowley to be there? When did he come? How did he come? Why did you condone it? Why didn't you send him on his way? Why you didn't send him to play golf? Why didn't you say, Honorable Prime Minister, no, 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 no. Go up Millennium and hit a few balls. But not here. Senior Counsel Israel Khan has called on you to respond, even though he called very softly and quietly, because he seems to have a total lot of respect for you. He did not want to hurt your feelings. He asked softly. The MSJ, David Abdullah, has asked for you to respond. The Express and Express editorials on 2 occasions have said that you must account. Lala has said that you must account. Other lawyers have stated that you must account for what took place on August 12, 2021, at the President's house, that has caused the collapse of the Police Service Commission and to cause the police to be without a leader, to be rudderless in a time of escalating crime and violence in your country. You are the president. You are there to protect the Constitution, and the Constitution protects the people. You are the protector of the people, Paula May Weeks. Why is Anil even calling your name on the radio? Could you allow me to stop? Could you allow me to do my job and get back into the politics of the country to deal with the executive arm? I sort of believe that there should be a separation of powers also, even in media and political radio and broadcasting. I do not want to be calling the president, the office of the president, the house of the president, Paula May Weeks, in any discussion. But you are forcing me to by your silence, Madam President. Could you come out and make a full, honest, wholehearted, patriotic statement and just tell the truth? Why not? If you erred, so be it. Proceed. You know what to do better than anyone. All of your students who studied under you and listened to you lecture for hour upon hour at you wouldn't, or at LLB classes, they're looking on at you in shock and disappointment. You have worked an entire career to build up respect in all that you have done, from your scholarship and your study habits and at school, your discipline, at your workouts in the gym. When you work out and you're very courteous and respectful to people, all of this throughout your life, your silence is damaging all of your hard work. Why? Balize? Why? PNM? Why? For Rowley, nobody respects Rowley. Rowley is a scumbucket from long time from teacher. Nobody in Tobago want to see Rowley. They're going to vote Rowley out straight 15 seats. Whether he cheat or gerrymander, Rowley mander, he's going to get it. No one respects Rowley. So you are damaging all of your life's work, your life's credit, your life's discipline, your ability, your brilliance, your lecture. All your students are watching you. For who, Rowley? Really? 218-7762. 218-7762. Paula May Weeks, I am... Just talk today now. Give out a full statement. Talk the truth so I could move on to the exemption with Al Rawi tomorrow. So I could move on to the politics of pain and the collapse of the PNM budget they made tomorrow. So I could move on to the disrespect of the sporting industry and all our athletes tomorrow. I don't want to talk about you, Paula May Weeks, President. Hello, good morning. Hello?
All right, missed that one.
What? Good morning, good morning. 218-7762. We're taking your calls, 218-7762. Cocky, I don't like talking about the president. Really and truly. This is madness. Hello.
Mr. Anil.
Yes, sir.
You said it so beautiful and so wonderful with such a kind tone. You see, all we are asking for, and if our president said the truth, she set herself free from ignorance. You see, when you give a language in ignorance, there's three things you just get: blood, death, and a lifetime of sorrow. When you say something with knowledge, you get joy, happiness, and peace. And she should come out and give us the peace. Tell us the truth. You see, Mr. Anil, Bara selling over 117 years in this country, and it's on single digit. Every other food price is in double digit. And you see, when people have to understand, these people have get up with love, say the prayer, clean themselves, get up around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to reach here for 6 o'clock. People must give. I respect the Bara people. When I eat that food, Mr. Anil, 2 Bara and a chubby, I good for the day, for the full day, for that bless. Have a blessed and wonderful day, Mr. Anil.
Boss, let me tell you something. When you talk there, you preach there, you ain't talk. Doubles is the food of our nation. Doubles espouses the spirituality and the unity of our people of Trinidad and Tobago. The flavor, the care, the hard work, the discipline, the attention to detail. The reason I eat in my doubles, man, 33 years, is that every single day for the last 33 years, the doubles is the exact same quality. It never changed. Do you know how difficult that is? Do you know how much respect you must have for a human being who is able to consistently produce at that high level without deviation? That is our brilliance. That is Trinidad and Tobago. That is who we are. We are a small nation, but we produce giants and greats, from Uriah Buzz Butler, Adrian Rienzi, Cola Rienzi. In 1948, Rodney Wilkes showed the world what coming from South and lifting up some bush and thing could do to win an Olympic silver medal in the 48 Olympics. Lennox Kilgore and Rodney Wilkes in 1952, McDonald Bailey, Motley, Edwin Roberts, Ed Skinner, the relay going down the line, Hazley Crawford, Atto Bolden, come up with Gene Samuel Fort on a heavy bike, George Bovell, Richard Thompson, the 4x4, Keshawn Walcott coming all up the way, V.S. Naipaul, businesses, Ansa McCall, CL Financial, conglomerates, our solo factory, as I say, a chubby, the factories, the businessmen that have done well for Trinidad and Tobago, our oil and gas engineers, our people who have pioneered the work in the gas sector, the oil sector, in literature, our teachers, Undine Giuseppe, Mrs. Kenny, the great principals of St. Augustine Girls, Shiva Boys, Shugwarnas, Prez, Naparima, Fatima College. Yeah, I will call CIC for David Nake just so he wouldn't cry. But the greats across the board, our music, our soca, Kitchener, Lord Nelson, Sparrow, Rose, Shadow, David Rudder, Tambu, come up, Marshall Montano, Kes, Destra, Patrice, Bonji, Fayan. Brilliance across the board, Dwight York, Shaka Hislop, Russell Latapi, go back in the day, David Nackett, come down to now, Molino, go back further, Alvin Cornell, our Brian Charles Lara, Claude Noel, Leslie Tiger Stewart. We are just greatness personified in the Pan, the Hammer, Jit Samaru, the Despas, the All Stars, all of the Arrangers, the Silver Stars, Pouchette, all across the board. Brilliance anywhere you see it in Trinidad and Tobago, there is brilliance. And that's what doubles represents. And all you vexed because doubles man raised to $6. All you must be mad. All you had to be mad. My coffee I just like to drink raised about $5 in the last 3 years, but I still drink my cafe latte grande at my rituals. You understand? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Robert.
Morning.
It pains me to say this. I have so much respect for this president when she was appointed. But shameless. Silence is not no depth in it. It's shameless. Thanks.
You see? And I have to agree. And that's disappointing. Imagine here I have to have a discussion about the President of the Republic. Because for whatever reason, she's staying silent on a matter of critical constitutional purport. Why are you silent, Madam President? You jump out the other day to attack Kamala and you were wrong. You and Camille Robinson Regis was wrong. You have so many things to answer. Because you went to bishops. Yes, all of us love our friends and so on, Corky. Wherever you grow up, you must love your friend and them.
Yes, yes.
Nothing is wrong with that. But when you take up a position and swear on the Bible to be the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, your friends are secondary. But it appears that a high percentage of Paula May Weeks' appointments happen to come from her alma mater, her school, and bishops. We have hundreds of schools in Trinidad and Tobago with all deserving citizens who are willing and able to serve. But on the Police Service Commission, it had 4 people. 2 is from bishops. In the Senate, it only had 9 independent senators. 2 of them from bishops. Blissy Passad from bishops. Rowley wife from bishops. Rowley daughter from bishops. Paula May Weeks, please just tell us in detail exactly what happened, like a witness statement. Many witness statements, people used to come before you in court and had to talk the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So why you can't do the same? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Roberts.
Morning.
I call in, I want you to do me a little favor.
Yeah.
I live in Caratal, Section 1, Tortuga Road.
Right.
And I have a water leak in front of my house here, and the water gushing right to my house. I made several reports to water. I talked to our NP, I talked to all of them. I have a press coming up weekend. And if that water continue running because I can't do my press.
How many reports have you made to WASA?
I make to WASA, I call my NP, I call the councillor, everybody.
How long is that leak going on? How long is that? Don't worry. The minister, man, listening now, the minister of utilities, say the area slowly and clearly for him to write it down. Minister, man, get out your pencil now and fix the leak because you're want to charge people extra money.
Since Thursday, go on the water leaking and it's gushing straight down below my and I have press come up weekend.
Which part is
All right, say exactly where.
7 Caratal, Tortuga Road, Gasparillo.
7 Caratal, Tortuga Road, Gasparillo. All right, my brother. Well, the Minister of Works, of Public Utilities, who the see man in van, he has just heard you. So hopefully you will see some action by lunchtime today. Blessings.
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
And boy, still have your prayers, yes? Pray in the water. Just tell people walk with slipper. Don't put on no fancy shoe. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Roberts.
Good morning.
Hypothetical past you.
Yeah.
If Mr. Prasad and Madam President are fed a table close to email gate.
Yes.
Which so frightens these two women.
Yes.
And they are also made to understand that, listen, this is coming from national security. So
yes.
They can't divulge. So that Bliss didn't do anything wrong. She had delivered the list to the Madam President.
Right.
But she endless days of licks because for something that she didn't do.
Right.
And the same thing is happening with Madam President. What has happened is that someone has scared these two women shitless.
Okay. I hear you. Right.
And they believe that they can't divulge.
Well, pause. Your hypothetical actually seems to be realistic. However, here's the problem. The president, first and foremost, should not have allowed the prime minister to utter one word other than good morning.
That's right.
You see right there? So if the president, that's why you have a constitution and you understand separation of powers. So especially knowing that Bliss Prasad was on her way to do her duty, as the prime minister reached by the gate, he should have been sent on the golf course.
You see, the president may have been fooled with is that she may have believed that the person was coming for the monthly meeting.
Okay, pause, right? I'm following your whole day. I'm going with your scenario. I like that. So, the person is coming and it's just a coincidence. Okay. So, the president now should have put Bliss Prasad in the president's house. Have plenty room, right? Put her in a room to drink coffee and hold on, and put her there to wait, correct?
Yes.
And then she would have told her fella in the white nice suit, the army suit kind of thing, go and tell the chairperson of the Police Service Commission, I am apologizing, but she'll have to hold on because I must give precedence to the Honorable Prime Minister who has certainly just showed up here to meet me in our normal meeting. Yes. Right? So then she will take the Honorable Prime Minister to her main office with the national flag and so on and so forth, that beautiful office. And the Prime Minister would have said, good morning, Madam President. Let me inform you that on the Police Service Committee, Prime Minister, with all due respect, you have any other thing to report? You have anything to tell me about the economy, fiscal policy, the positions in Trinidad and Tobago? Because you would know that you have no local standard whatsoever to discuss anything, especially during the process of the selection of a commissioner of police. So if that's all you came here to discuss, Mr. Prime Minister, I bid you farewell.
You see, the thing is, she has found herself in a situation where...
Repeat that for me. You broke up a bit. Repeat, start over. She found herself in a position where?
She has been hoodwinked by a crafty politician.
But she should not have put herself to hear the crafty man. So she has done wrong. So she need to go. But I agree with you. I agree with all that you're saying. But you see, when you adhere to the rules of separation of powers, and that's why I said there is no one who understands the rules of the game better than her. If this was a cricket game, she would have been the best umpire in the world.
It is the most miserable state of affairs.
Thank you. And do you know that it pains me to even have this discussion with you, sir?
Okay, have a good day.
Have a good day. I mean, brilliant. That I agree with. That is the analysis. But that's why when you stick to the principles, you see, the problem started. Good morning. Hold on 1 second. The problem started with Bliss Prasad being connected You see, having gone bishops with the president and that bishop's tea party, the problem started when Bliss C. Prasad was not truly independent. She was on a CDA board appointed by Rowley and taking instruction from the cabinet and by taking instruction from Camille Robinson Regis, who also went bishops. So you see, when you have these interlocking directorships and conflicts of interest, they thwart your brain if you're thinking clearly. If Paula May Weeks was thinking clearly, no master conman could even get the opportunity to sell his wares. Good morning.
Good morning, Anil.
Morning.
The same way the Prime Minister went to the President, we the citizens calling on him to go back and remove the state of emergency so we could protest on the streets of Trinidad and Tobago to get him removed from office.
Well said. Blessings. Well said. Because he doing all this wildness, but has every citizen under lock and key state of emergency except the bandits. Bandits killing, robbing, raping, looting, carjacking like normal. But all are we under state of emergency. So yes. So Paula May Weeks, I not bothering to ask no Rowley again. I'm not wasting my time on no Blissy Prasad again. I'm not wasting my time on Roger Kewal Singh, Dr. Craig James or McNish again to find out who was discussing with them and trying to present a case. It falls squarely on you, Madam President. I don't want to hear about Mental Awareness Week. I don't want to hear about Cookie Broom Week. I don't want to hear about Hibiscus Watering Week or Plant a Tree Day. I want to hear, Madam President, once and for all, who came by you August 12th? How they came by you August 12th? Why did you let them come by you August 12th? Why did you listen to them August 12th? Were you in a unity meeting with Bliss, Rowley, and yourself? Were they in separate rooms? Why did you allow them both to be in the same place at the same time? Did you facilitate the meeting? What was the information that Rowley gave you? Was it substantiated? Would it have come up to evidence in a high court that you sat on the bench? What and why did you allow that? Why did you not send the merit list? Who told you not to do so? Did you have the discussion to do so? What does the Constitution say was your duty? Why did you shirk your duty and then resign? And let me deal with the politics tomorrow. You are holding on for what, Paula May Weeks? You have just put yourself and written yourself indelibly into the annals of history as a president who jeopardized the Constitution more than any other. You have just surpassed A.N.R. Robinson for his interpretation of the preamble to the Constitution. You have just gone past all previous presidents since 1976 with this debacle and this imbroglio that you have allowed for whatever reason. And in your truth statement, you must tell us what motivated you. What was so powerful that would make you an expert in Constitution, an expert in the rule of law, an expert in the separation of powers, an expert in general law, an expert in ethics, an expert in morality, an expert in the separation of powers? What could possibly make an expert act so amateurishly? What? Sometimes the only thing that makes experts do that is love. And from what all my evidence and information, you don't love and are unable to love Rowley. So what it is? What is it, Madam President, that would cause a brilliant, experienced, strong, independent-minded human being who knows her job? You see, I could forgive somebody who don't know their work. Yeah, and if you know, you make a mistake. But you cannot make that case for the Paula May Weeks. You cannot. And I like the scenario that the caller brought up. That the person bringing the message and the hearsay and the information was so powerful it confused Bliss. How was Bliss even brought into that? Because what we're hearing from Carrington, Corey Harrison, is that the list was delivered. Martin Daly is asking Paula May Weeks for about the 5th or 6th time. And I must say, I at least respect his stick-to-itiveness on this issue. I don't have general respect for Martin Daly. But on this issue, I must commend him for not giving up. And even yesterday column or something, Martin Daly had to throw in something like, the UNC have no moral authority or something. Some nonsense. I know he's a PNM, Martin Daly. So that's why I could never really respect you, because you did the same sort of thing. You went and accepted to be an independent senator knowing that you were not fully independent. That you had a long and fruitful relationship with the wife of the leader of the opposition at that time. So how could you? You in a chambers, you would have had cocktail parties, you would have interacted with the Rowleys more than the Persad sisters. Because of your work relationship, because of your clothes, because of legal work is long, hard hours. Meeting together and working. You would have formed some bond. Cocky,
yes.
Me and you only working 2.5 weeks. Must be 12 days, yes?
Yes.
And we form a bond then already.
Yes, yes.
Right? We's not best friend yet, but we have already formed a bond that if somebody come in here,
yes,
and want to have an argument with Corky, I cannot be the arbiter because I go be on Corky's side. Because I have been influenced by Corky spending 3 hours a year, right? 15:30 by 36 hours at least with Corky here.
Right.
So that disqualifies me from being an independent arbiter if a man come in from outside here, another employee at U97.5 FM, and arguing with Corky, and I cannot be the judge. I cannot be the judge in the case because I go be on Corky's side. You, Martin Daly, work with Rowley wife for decades. You didn't work with Dr. Bissessa for decades. But you went and swearing to be an independent senator. So you are just as guilty of the same impropriety, the same low standards that Paula May Weeks is now displaying. So while I agree with your questions, I think sometimes you, Martin Daly, should look in the mirror and ask yourself. And when Paula May Weeks talk the truth, you should talk the truth too. Should you have accepted and sworn on the Bible to be independent? Did you overcome the concept of apparent bias? Would a reasonable person have said that you could be impartial in carrying out your independent duty, having had such a long, fruitful, positive, intellectual relationship with Keith Christopher Rowley's wife, and probably with him at cocktail parties, Christmas parties, events, birthday parties, and the like, where you did not share that same intimacy with the other leader, Kamala Persad-Bissessa? So you see, Senior Counsel Daly, it's easy for you to go and criticize Paula May, but you in the same box. So Paula May Weeks, the douglAr would like that this morning here at 8:58, as we wrapping up coffee and doubles on U97.5 FM, I beseech you, I beg you, make a full, complete statement to the media, detailing in pristine method, like a police statement, like a witness statement that you have read and prepared and vetted over the years on the timelines. Leave no detail out. Tell us exactly what took place August 10th, August 11th, August 12th, until August 30th, and beyond if you want, involving your Police Service Commission, your chairperson Bliss C. Persad, Prime Minister Keith Christopher Rowley, and yourself. Please make a full, truthful statement so that I don't have to call your name again. To all of you, we apologize. Oh Lord, tune boy. We apologize for the weak signal, and we hope that it gets stronger. Tomorrow morning, 5:59 a.m., U97.5 FM, Doubles and Coffee. Listen to some David Rudder and think about our country. Paula May Weeks, I play this for you. Bless.
Let me tell you a story about the pain